What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to the Taurean Reloaded channel, and this is a special live stream that we are doing this evening. As y'all know, as y'all can see by the title, we are doing the Foundational Black American Expo recap. You know, the Expo was in Dallas, Texas, almost a week ago. I can't believe how fast this week is flying by. It's already Thursday, and the Expo was last Saturday. And as y'all know, I was actually in attendance with the individuals, with the family down there in Dallas, having a really good time. A very solid event. Cannot wait for the next one. Let's see, who do we have in here so far? We have Lemonade, Sun Goddess, Carla Lockard. I was almost about to read my own name. J.M. Fleming, DSB. I'm sure it's going to take a while for some people to come on in. I don't know if the notification went out, but I did put it out on Twitter. So if you are on Twitter, make sure to just click the link and come right on over. And just like that thing jumped up to 34. Shout out to Sun Kissed by the Most High. I'm glad everybody is starting to pile on in. I'm glad everybody is here on this Thursday evening. Y'all know usually I go live on Fridays, but I will be going live this Friday, of course, because I wasn't able to go live last Friday. But we are here to do a recap of last week's event, last week's Expo. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat right now who actually did attend the Expo. And if you didn't, well, you've come to the right place, because you're about to get a full coverage recap of what occurred at the Expo last Saturday. But I could have easily did this recap by myself. Oh, right, what Sun Goddess said, make sure to smash that like button, definitely. But I could have easily did this recap by myself, but I said it would be no fun if I did it by myself, especially because I could not cover every single thing. I could only speak from my standpoint. So I actually have some guests that are in the background that I'm going to bring up in a couple seconds, as a matter of fact, so they can give their perspective of how the Expo went for them. It's just going to really be like a discussion, and trust me, it's a lot to cover because it was an all-day event. Like, this thing started at 10 and was over by 10. So we have a lot of ground that's going to be covered. So I'm going to start bringing them in. I'm going to introduce them one by one. And the first person I'm going to bring up is none other than Afro Elite. What is going on, my brother?
How you doing, brother Taurean? It's good to be back. Good to be back. Shout out to the FBA Expo.
That's my first time seeing that shirt. I saw the other shirt. I never saw that one. Yeah, the white one with the logo on the corner.
Yeah, okay.
I call it the members only shirt, because whenever I see something that has like a logo in the corner, I always think of a members only type of shirt.
Yeah.
I
mean, I like them both. I got the black one just because it's easier to clean and stuff. Right. I need to get the white one, but I'm ready to talk about this. I've been ready the whole time. The whole event, I'm like, man, this recap is gonna be fire. I can't wait for it.
Definitely.
It's going to be a fun recap. Shout out to everybody who's in here, and shout out to everybody who's, definitely showed up to the event too. And thank you again for having me on this, because this is going to be a really good broadcast.
Nice. All right. That's our first guest, but I have some more people in the background. So let me bring up our next guest, brother Black Alpha Network. What's going on?
Peace and love, brother. Peace and love to everybody in the chat. My brothers right here. Everybody who's tuning in. Man, there was a lot that went on this week, wasn't it, family?
Yeah. A lot too much. Like I said, we're gonna break it all down tonight. That's why we're here. That's why we're here.
Let's get it, man. I'm ready for the show, man. Peace and love to everybody.
All right, cool. And we have one more person in the background waiting to come up. None other, last but not least, brother Sage. What's going on?
Peace to the family. Y'all got me good in here? How's everyone doing tonight?
Doing great.
Peace again. I was excited just to attend, the Expo, and I'm so happy that we're doing this recap. Much love to the family that was there in their presence. Much love to the family that made themselves known, to myself, brother Black, brother Afro, brother Taurean. Let's break it on down for them.
Nice. Yes, everybody, welcome to the panel. Welcome everybody in the chat. Again, it's going to start, some more people going to start filing in a little bit later, but that's okay. This stream will be staying up. So in case you do miss the live, you can always go back and catch the playback. So I think the first question is like a pretty standard question for everybody on here. We'll go in order though. I'll start with Afro first. How was this past weekend for you? Like, how was this expo event for you?
It was exciting. It was definitely worth the hype. Definitely worth the hype. I've been planning this, saving up for this, thinking about exactly how everything was going to transpire. The whole month before, the whole month, and I'm glad it happened like towards the end of the month or whatever, because it was like a good month of just straight build up. Like, I got to get the flight right, got to get everything, has to be perfect. So it was a really good build up for the whole thing. The day before, I was having fun the day before. Friday, I got there Friday. I was having fun the day before, but the only thing I could really think about was, man, Saturday. Like everything I eat, I'm all like, this food is gonna taste better Saturday. And like everything I had, everything that went on, I'm like, Saturday is gonna be that day, And Saturday did not disappoint. That's in the history books. You know what I'm saying? And as Sunday afterwards, I was like having flashbacks of the rally. Like I was walking, I was walking through my hotel, like in the, through the hotel, and I was thinking like I'm still at the expo. I said rally, well, I'm still at the expo. Like I kept having flashbacks of the expo. That's how great it was. It was a totally great experience. The whole weekend was in every aspect, really. The anticipation of it, and not just the anticipation as well as the fact that it also delivered too. It wasn't short on anything, you know what I'm saying? It's not like people who I wanted to see there, they weren't there. A lot of people were there. I was surprised to see some of the people who actually did show up. So it was a fun weekend. It was an empowering weekend. It's definitely something I'm gonna be bragging about for a long time.
Definitely. All right, Black Alpha, you up next.
Whew, man. It was everything that I imagined, to be honest with you. It was the best trip I've ever went on, like ever. Like the whole experience from top to bottom, just seeing the family. And and I was saying this not too long ago for people out there. Name me a place in the world, not America. Name me a place in the world where there was that much Black empowerment in one area. There was nowhere. It was right there. If you were there, then that was the epicenter of Blackness on the planet, on the whole globe. So I mean, it was everything, to meet everybody, to get to see everybody, to see the family. It's like a family affair. It's like a family reunion with people you want to be around. Because sometimes the family reunions, there'd be some people there you don't really want to deal with. Like a family affair, man, where everybody was there. You got to see everybody. Like Brother Afro was just saying, I was reliving it every day, just thinking about it over and over again. We're gonna get to it later, but I had like a 10-hour delay on my flight. You know what I'm saying? I missed the flight to get there, y'all. It's a long, crazy story. I was running through the airport. You know what I'm saying? So all of that, though, was well worth it. And it actually makes the experience more fun. So now that I look back on it, I wouldn't change a thing. 10-hour, I had a tether Uber driver, 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? They could have gave me 20 of them because it was still on point. So I loved it.
All right, Sage, you up next.
Yes, sir. Okay, so my flight was fairly well. I definitely did not experience what Black Alpha experienced, thank God. It was a cool flying from New York. You come in around 3.5 hours, maybe touching floor, depending on what kind of pilot you have. We had great weather up here and then great weather down there when we landed. Also, the Uber drivers. If anyone in this chat,
man, for real,
bro. What's up with y'all Uber drivers, bro? Like, the dude was asking me how to get to certain locations, bro. Like, I don't live here. I live in New York, bro. So I don't understand exactly where that went wrong. And I had like some, I want to say Mexican kind of dude that was an Uber driver. So first of all, my hotel was more close to the convention center than it was to the airport. So we're talking about like a good 20 to 30 30-minute drive. No, not even 30 to 40-minute drive. And when you get lost in a state that you're not from, that's a different kind of feeling. And then the dude is asking you for advice. You know, that is something again. I'm gonna shit. Sorry about that. I'm gonna kill him in a second. I'm gonna archive, you know, my whole time in Dallas because first of all, it started off with Uber drivers like that, but it turned out to be amazing. I can't wait to speak on like some of the backstage things that was going on.
We're gonna get to that.
Well, yeah. I met. Well, again, I want to go through it in time. I don't want to speak on everything, but I want to say, my time in Dallas was amazing. It was so good to see the family, so good to see different businesses, and yeah. I'll let you lead into the next question, Tori.
Okay. Well, first of all, I get into the next question. My experience was definitely great. This was actually my first time being in Dallas since 1996 because I had family in Dallas, and that was the last time I was there. And I came in, I flew in on Friday, got there pretty early. And on that day, I pretty much was able to chill with my actual, you know, my real family. And so this trip actually served two purposes. I was actually able to catch up with family that I hadn't seen in 10 years. I had that side of my family down there I hadn't seen in 10 years. So that served a purpose right there with me. And I was able just to chill and kick it with them for that Friday when I came in. And then on that Saturday, I was able to chill with my other family. So, you know, I had, you know, it's like I had two families, you know, in the same spot. And this event was like being in a mini Black Wall Street. Like, as y'all can see by the video that I'm playing right here, because someone in the chat had asked, was there any video? Of course I had video. So that's just a video right there, me just walking around. And that's not even the whole video. That's just 1 minute of it. That's just playing in a loop of me just highlighting the different vendors that was there. And it's crazy because it's another part of the video where I got stopped by somebody who had a conversation with me, but I kept the camera rolling because I just want, you know, to catch that effect. And shout out to D Tupman because she helped push this video out there on her Twitter account as well. But it was just an amazing event. It was like being around, like you said, a family reunion that people you hadn't seen in a while, even though some of the people that were there you probably saw at the rally. It was probably even some people there that was at the rally that may not have been able to come to this event, or people that weren't at the rally that were at this event. But it was just amazing to see all of these amazing Black people in one spot promoting their businesses, talking to the people, and, you know, me being able to meet people who watch my content. I know Afro Elite, you know, people ran up to him. Same thing with I'm laughing with Black Alpha because it was a woman there who was determined to meet Black Alpha. Like, when I saw her the first time when I was in it, when I first walked in, and she had saw me, she was determined to meet Black Alpha. Like, when I had saw her, she had said, Taurean, I already met Afro. I just met you. When am I gonna meet Black Alpha? Like, and I saw her a couple of times, and she was determined. I said, he said he's gonna be here. He's floating around here somewhere. And when she finally met you, that, like, her meeting you made her day. Like, she was like, like, she was genuinely excited and very happy to meet you. And the thing is, I can remember her whole profile, like, because she was determined to meet you, and it was just an amazing experience for that to occur. I, you know, definitely supported quite a few of the businesses that were promoted. As a matter of fact, if people look at my community tab, I actually posted up links to the people that I got business cards from. Unfortunately, some of them I wasn't able to post because they didn't have websites on them. They had QR codes. So unless you had the card, to scan the QR code, it would be useless if I posted it because it would be kind of hard to use. But I probably supported maybe about maybe 3 or 4 of the vendors that were there. Oh, and Afro, I did go and get those cookies, and I went through and yeah, I got them, and I went through them in probably 2 days. That chocolate chip one was good. It reminded me of the Potbelly cookies. Like, it literally tasted just like them. And I got the Snickerdoodle one. and the oatmeal cream pie one. All of them were good. They were all like really good. But all in all, like this was a very amazing event. I cannot wait for the next one. I think I heard Tariq saying that, you know, like people are trying to push to see if they can have another expo this year. They was like, why wait until next year to do it? Let's see if we could push one out, push another one out later on this year. And I said, look, if they push another one out this year and I'm free, hey, I'll be at that one too. But that was, you know, that was pretty much my experience. I'm sure there's some more stuff that I'm gonna touch on a little bit later. I really wish that Sincere was up here because, like I said, he was a vendor and he could have definitely gave us his experience or his take on what the being a vendor or how that was. But speaking of the vendors, I'm gonna ask each one of you, what vendors or what people did y'all go see? And I'll start with you, Afro.
Well, I was there early to, you know, set everybody up and everything like that. So I kind of saw everybody, but there were certain people that like I actually did business with. Okay. And and I just want people to know I am getting together a list, especially I feel like there's a special list that needs to be shouted out. So I'm getting that together and I'm going to put that on my community tab a little bit later, just in case I'm forgetting. But I forgot her name. The lady with the cookies. She was selling delicious vegan cookies.
I think it's called Neatly. I think that's the name of it. I think it's called
Neatly Vegan, I believe.
Neatly Vegan. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Man, first off, let me tell you, she just gave them to me. I was all like, how much? She was like, no, for you, Avro, you got them. I'm like, okay, cool. So y'all, if people don't know, I got a bit of a sweet tooth sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, do you like this? Do you like this? Do you like this? I'm like, yeah, I like all of that stuff. She was like, okay, take it. I was like, okay, bet. And I woke up and had to get there early. So I didn't really get a chance to, I'm sorry. Sorry. Got distracted by the chat or something. I didn't get a chance to get no breakfast beforehand because when I had got there, there was already so many people. It was so much stuff to do. So I took a bite and I got the chocolate chip cookie. I took a bite of the chocolate chip cookie. I was like literally walking. I took a bite of the chocolate chip cookie and it made me stop walking. I stopped walking. I was like, damn.
I don't mean to cut you off, Afro, but in the video, we about to walk right past it. There it is right there. The Neatly Vegan. Those are the cookies right there that I was talking about. But yeah. She did great desserts. There was another person who was selling and I'm wearing them right now. They were like B1 black. Oh, the black one. No, yep, I got one on. I got the red one. Yeah.
I got I forgot the name of the business. That's why I gotta get the
It's called Unapologetic Tees.
Okay, yeah.
They specialize in customized t-shirts, but these are also there as well.
Yeah, that was good. So definitely y'all check them out. Another person, I went downstairs to get some coffee, and there was a place called Coffee Please. It was downstairs, and they had a coffee shop, and they have flavors, vanilla, all that stuff. That's what. Remember when we was upstairs in the VIP room and I was drinking that coffee? That's where I got it from.
Yeah,
with the oat milk and everything. Great coffee, absolutely great coffee and everything like that, and oat milk, healthy and all. I got a couple of cards. I'm gonna get up in a second because there was some people. There was a lady who gave a good sister gave me some shea butters. Let me see. I got a notebook from somebody. I got some body oil. From some, I got to get some of the names of the places, but those were the two I can think of, or the three I can think of the names. When you get to the next person, I'm gonna grab the bag and I'm gonna see if I can get some more names.
Cool. All right, go ahead on Black Alpha.
I try to go to everybody at least to stop and show love, right? You feel me? Everybody. That one little girl, she had like the little afro. She had a little afro when she was selling stuff. Queen stopped there and was getting a lot of stuff. There was another lady in there that made oil. I had to get my beard game on one. You know what I'm saying? So caught from them. And then I was going around. There's actually a couple realtors, a couple brothers. They were located in Dallas, even though I'm not from there. Obviously, I took their stuff and I listened to them because I said, tell you what I'll do on my show. I'll plug everything. So it doesn't just have to stop here. So I got a couple cards from a bunch of the realtors, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, I just want to stop and let everybody know, like, hear what they got to say so I can go to somebody else. Like, hey, man, go check that table out. Go check out that table. They got a lot of good stuff. So it's really just about really networking and politicking. And, you know, whether I cop something or I sent traffic in that direction, my mentality was, well, I would say, man, each one teach one. So there was a lot of good stuff. I got some, and actually some people were giving me stuff for free. You know what I'm saying? So I was appreciating that. So like we said, body oil, scent, a lot of stuff, you know, facial care, all of that type of stuff, man. So, I mean, it was powerful, man. It was powerful. There's really nothing like it. Like we say, man, that was the biggest Black Empowerment Day this year. And it was the most monumental Black, you know, empowerment movement going on in the world at that time. So, man, I'm just happy to be a part of it, brother.
Yeah, definitely. Sage, you can go up next.
Yes, sir. So they were, again, I tried to visit all the vendors that were present to be visited, obviously. Unapologetic tees. I love that. I actually have a t-shirt, but my mom's actually stole it from me, but it's all good because I'm gonna just buy it from online. I'm gonna buy another one. Honey Beauty.
That's the one with the oils, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She does like oils. No, she does like oils and all that. And that sister. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. Sorry about that. So anyway, gotta find
Lemonade, I typed it in the chat. You said you wanted to know what the name of the cookie stand was. It's called Neatly Vegan Sweets.
I got some.
Go ahead, Afro.
I got some of the things. Now, some of the things I don't have, they got lost, but well, they didn't get lost, but they got misplaced. So I'm still waiting on that stuff to me to get that stuff. Like a brother gave me like a bag and it had like a water bottle, a keychain, and all that stuff. So that's why I'm waiting on the list. But some brother gave me from P23 Labs, gave me this nice, you know, notebook with a pen on it, you know, me taking notes. This woman, I remember telling you about the shea butter, gave me this, and her name is, let me see, her name is Larche Butter from Memphis, Tennessee. Another one, a business brother gave me this, and I thought this was really interesting. This right here, these are from Corporation, it's spelled with a K. These are financial literacy flashcards. You know, so if you can, like, I don't know, like look at it, it says mutual fund, and then on the back, it gives the definition of like what a mutual fund is. It's a whole bunch of them in this case. So, you know, Black people, they don't try to teach us financial literacy. So this is a very fun way of learning, especially teaching your kids, you know, financial literacy. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like I said, I'm still getting a list. I just grabbed a couple of things that I had.
Cool. All right, so yeah. Hey, we get it. The people in the chat was talking about the dog. The dog, someone was sitting in the chat. The dog was saying, "Cut the check." That's what they were saying.
Makes sense. My dog's name is Midnight. I was gonna name him Blackout, but that name was already taken by a cat that my mother has. But and Brother Alpha, I'm gonna have your dog come over here and eat my dog. Anyway, as I was saying, because I have a list over here, somewhat of a list. Handcrafts by K. That was the sister with the, I believe she had lotions or some type of body butter or so. I know exactly where she was positioned. She was upstairs. You make a right as soon as you go in the room. She had the big table. She was working with her daughter. If she's in the chat, much love to you. I brought some body butter from the sister, and also she gave me like some complimentary soap. And which is interesting is that I should bring the soap out. So the soap's name is Midnight, and again, that's my puppy's name. So it just seemed like poetic for me. Unapologetic teas, I think I touched on that already. Last one that I really liked a lot was the Giannis collection. I hope I'm not butchering your name, sister, if you're in the chat. She makes like therapeutic candles, aromatherapy kind of candles, and she was downstairs in the VIP section. If you were at the expo, you know exactly what we're talking about. But she had a lot of great products. I bought some two pair of candles from the sister. Shout out to her. Shout out to her moms. I remember when brother Kabakamane came in there, they just lost their minds. Like they saw, the second coming of Martin Luther King or so. But they were just so geeked when brother Kabakamane came in there. Also, there was a brother. Okay, I don't know the name, but I want to give an honorary mention to this brother because I spent time talking with him. He was right outside the VIP room, and he had like a 3D printer, and he seemed so educated, so well put together. I'm so sorry, brother. I do not remember your name, but brothers like that need to share that knowledge. That brother was out there just giving knowledge on 3D printing and how to. He gives like certain. He gives like certain like webinars on how to create like a 3D printer from scratch. And that's something I felt like is in the Black community, we don't know a lot of, so that's knowledge I feel that needs to be shared. And if I do come across that brother's card, I will say that brother's name. I don't think I have it currently on me, but I'll find a way to get in contact with that brother and definitely bring him to the light or bring him to you guys to definitely put out his products, because I feel like he has knowledge that the family can absolutely use in the future.
Cool. So as y'all can see in the chat, there was a lot of vendors that was there. I had the videos playing on the side while they were talking, so y'all can get a glimpse of what was there. It was a lot to go around. It was a lot, and like those two videos that y'all was looking at in a loop were not even the whole videos. Like if in total, the video was probably well over 5 minutes long in total between both videos. Y'all only saw about 2 minutes of that. But yeah, there was like I said, there was a lot of vendors. I also went to that Honey Beauty vendor. I had got like the beard oil as well as the hair oil as well. I went to the the Neatly Vegan and got those cookies. Oh my God, them cookies were so good. I got this from the Unapologetic Teas, and it was one more that I went to, but I can't think of where I went. But they gave me a water bottle, and I think they were on the second floor as well.
They were right in front of King Cam's table.
Yes.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I had got that water bottle from him. But yeah, that was definitely, those vendors were definitely on point. Shout out to every last vendor that was in attendance. It was a lot of them. I can't even count how many were there. Just know it was a lot. Like everywhere that you walked on the first floor and everywhere you walked on the second floor, there were vendors. I forgot, there was another vendor I went to. They had vegan. What was it? It was right next. It was I don't want to say it was ice cream, but it was in a cup, and it was like, it was vegan, but it had Oreo pieces in it. It was almost like eating a vegan McFlurry. I forgot the name of it, and they also had the banana pudding one too. And I'm like, I had told them, I'm glad that vegan foods are starting to get more pushed out there and get more notarized, because at one point people shunned completely away from it because I think more so how it was presented to them, and they didn't think that it was going to taste the same. Of course, you can still tell that it's a little bit different, but when I tasted this, I said, if you didn't tell anybody this was vegan, you would swear that this was just the regular stuff that was made at home with all the regular ingredients, or something that you would have bought from a store. You probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But I forgot the name of what their business was.
Can I say something about that?
Go ahead.
Just real quick. I forgot. I wanted to try that so bad. And what I like about that is the fact that there's a lot of people who feel like becoming a vegan is a very, very difficult transition, you know, because there's not a lot of places that sell good food, you know, that is vegan. So I'm glad that we have a lot of brothers and sisters who are making good tasting food that is vegan, because that, you know, that messes up the narrative that all vegan food is nasty. Number one. Number two, I feel like that's really good for a lot of black people to still support black businesses and still be vegan at the same time. So I think that's good. Even, I mean, whether you're vegan or not, I still liked it. I still think it tastes just as good as if it wasn't vegan. It was really, it was good for just being a cookie, let alone a vegan cook. So it was just really good food, you know. So I'm glad that I think it's really working for a lot of the people who might consider becoming vegan.
Right. All
right, so let's Taurean, that go ahead. The brother that gave you the water bottle, their business was called Passive Income University.
Yeah, I just saw someone posted in the chat. Yep. And shout out to Globally Black in the chat, because she also had a table at the event. As a matter of fact, she does vegan cookies or vegan treats as well. And I remember, because if y'all watch my channel, when I was doing like different business reviews, she has sent me some of her products to test out and make a video on, I think, like 3 different times, because it was like 3 different versions of the cookie. And she was out there, she was on the second floor, and I think she was right there next to that Honey Beauty table or behind them. And I know, you know, she was there as well. Shout out to Just Eve as well. That's it right there.
She gave me a whole. I hate to make y'all jealous, but sometimes I have to. But I got a whole box. Okay. If y'all jealous, be mad, because I got a whole box. Now I saved one just to show you guys what it looked like, and these aren't like no small thin cookies.
They're not small. Like those cookies have some size to them.
These are big, nice size cookies. Or whatever. Neatly, it's all. She put very much attention to the details. It's all neat and all pretty.
And also a shout out to Just Eve as well, because she had a whole bucket, not a bucket, but a whole what's that thing called? A whole pail, like a whole giant pail full of her vegan chocolate chip cookies. And when I say that pail was big, she had like 2 or 3 of them filled with these cookies that was in these brown bags. And when I tell you again, when you eat them, you were not sure if they were, you wouldn't be able to tell if they were vegan or not. And I'll give you an example of why I say that, because I was there when she was selling her cookies, and it was 2 guys that came behind me, and they were not too sure if they were going to try them, because she said that she sells vegan cookies. And they was like, what kind of vegan cookies? They said chocolate chips. Like, I don't know, because it's vegan. And I made sure to like kind of stand off to the side to see their reaction. And when I tell you, she said, okay, if you try it, then I'll give you this kind of deal, this, that, and the third. They tried one and ended up buying a couple of them, like right there on the spot. Like I said, they don't taste. A lot of people think that, if it's vegan, it might taste nasty, you know, because our palates are so used to certain things, and our palates aren't used to anything that tastes like that. But they, you know, found out otherwise. Her cookies were good as well. So shout out to Just Eve as well.
Hey, brother, I came back upstairs, and I came back to Just Eve, and I got seconds. A lot of y'all don't know that.
I told you, they were really good. Like those chocolate chip cookies were good. Like they were really good. And I remember I did some like a product review, because she had sent me some stuff as well. And I'm saying to myself, Eve, why didn't you send me these? Maybe, I don't know, maybe she didn't have them at the time when I was doing them, or when she was doing them. But those chocolate chip cookies that she had were really good.
She also was selling like Gatorade, water. She had she not only had the cookies, she also had a cooler of stuff too, like of beverages and drinks and stuff like that, which was a really smart idea to have too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because there was a lot of people walking around and wanted something to drink, so that was a smart idea.
Because when they had pulled up, we had to, we kind of helped them bring the stuff from their car upstairs to the second floor, and that was quite a trip to take, especially because you think about taking stuff from a trunk of a car into a building, then you gotta like maneuver through a bunch of people and tables to go upstairs, because was there an elevator? No, I don't think there was no elevator. So you had to go up the stairs and then put that stuff in the room and then help set all of that stuff up. Because I think she was like one of the last people to come in who was a vendor in that room. But and then on top of that, they had her set up in one spot, but then when they said, oh, this is the VIP room, they had to move all that stuff from the VIP room into the actual room where she was supposed to be at. But then it pretty much went good after that. All right. So everyone in the chat that's listening right now, y'all pretty much got an idea of what the vending, was like, how the different vendors, I showed y'all the video, the vendors that we went to and everything. Like I said, it was a lot. Like I can't even register every last vendor that was there because it was so many. And what I liked is that there were people who specialize in different things. It's not like it was a majority this or a majority that. You had people, like you said, in real estate. You had people that did vegan foods. You had people who did candles. You had people that did oils and different body butters, and people who specialize in, shout out to Dewan B, because he was out there as well. Like he had a whole vending table as well. So y'all probably saw it, that was on the video. But yeah, it was a variety. It was like being at a super, like not a supermarket, but
a flea market.
I don't even want to call it a flea market, but I was about to say it's almost like being on Canal Street in New York. Sage knows about that.
No comment. But you know what I would say though too, that I was so proud of. I'm big on doing business with Black folks as long as everything is equal. And I get this from George Frazier. The tiebreaker is that you're Black. All of these businesses that came down to the expo, everything, and African show you, everything was neatly done, professionally done. It was nothing low grade in there. It was what you would find, at a spot in Soho. It's nothing that you will find on some Canal Street with that situation over there. It's more of the upscale thing, and that shows you that people took pride in what they were presenting us, and that's amazing to me. Just Steve, I know for a fact, even though because I ended my night with my sister Just Steve and brother Ogun, shout out to him, and Just Steve's husband. And I know for a fact that she made those cookies the day of. Wow. So that just shows you that, she takes what she does, her craft and her business serious, You to make them fresh for your family, meaning us, that's amazing, and then you package them so nicely. Everything that I've bought was packaged very professionally, very nicely. It was not thrown together. And you know that these people do not have millions of dollars behind them.
Right.
What I loved about the expo, that showed professionalism in us. So
yes. Yeah. And you even had people that they brought their own music with them to play at your various tables. So it was almost like in some parts I feel like I'm walking onto the set of Soul Train. Like they had their own music, because it's not like it was like it's not because it wasn't like it was a DJ there, but they were inside. And we're gonna talk about that too when we get to that part. That was inside of like the theater. But people they brought their own little form of entertainment so that it could bring the vibes there, because it's not like it was a speaker that was installed where it was playing music, or as I call it, elevator music, going throughout the building. And shout out to the building itself, because it's a nicely structured building. And I found myself walking into, I guess you can say, the museum part of the building a couple of times, just walking around that little exhibit that they had in there. And I thought that was dope that it was in a space like that. But well, now that I want to get to this part, and
can you get the formalities out the way so we can talk about everything at the goddamn expo?
Can I say
the formalities out the way? Come on, Taurean.
Before we do that, I would like to say that the fact that this was a success, because it was a major success, the fact that this was a success shows how we as Black people, all we got to do is be on code, and we can make anything get done. This is the first expo of hopefully many more, and all of the people who got their businesses supported that day. You can only imagine, what I'm saying, they give their card or their website, how much more business they're going to get after the fact. So this is a very good thing, and I hope we have another one soon.
Most definitely.
But
right,
yeah,
so,
now we got the formalities out the way. We can talk about the nitty gritty. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I had to warm, some stuff up, for the people that weren't there, so they can get an idea of what it was like. But also, let's get into more, I guess you could say, technical stuff. Now, I can say more so for me, I wasn't on the technical side like how I would say Afro was, and even Sage and Black Alpha. But I want to start with Afro on this one because Afro, you signed up as a volunteer.
yeah,
You had the walkie-talkie. You had people behind you, but not as many as you were supposed to have.
yes.
So you literally was like from one place to the next. I bet you probably wish you had powers like the Flash to move a little bit faster because it was so much going on. Can you tell the people what that experience was like being a volunteer, and don't hold back, like we said, we getting into the nitty gritty part, so really go there and let the people know what that was like.
Okay, the inside scoop. Okay, so in the morning, you know what I'm saying, what was crazy, my phone did, I set like a bunch of alarms. I had them set.
Can I cut you off for 1 second? I'm so sorry, but let me cut you off for 1 second. I want everybody in the chat to know this. If it wasn't for this man up here, Afro, I don't think the expo would have went down the way it did. And I'm going to be honest, and Black Alpha knows exactly what I'm saying. Even Tariq knows exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. Afro doesn't get enough credit for that event being a success. So please take the time and say thank you to that brother. Definitely. Give him, fire emojis
in the chat. Definitely.
He was,
man, listen.
I know them rings closed that day. Man. I know them rings closed that day. Yeah. The way you was moving, the way you was maneuvering. Like, to those in the chat, for those that weren't there, Afro was I'm gonna let him get back so he can continue to tell it, because he can tell the story way better than we can. But from what I was seeing, this guy was not lit. Was night. I don't know if he took a limitless pill or what, but he was going all over the place. I don't think he had enough time to really just sit down and just. He had a little moment, but it was very brief. Every time he probably thought he had a break, he was right back on it again. And I told Afro when I got back, I said, you were going to probably use this week to decompress and just relax. And I said, you deserve it, because last Saturday you was like on 1,000, probably more.
Yes, he was. Yes,
but yeah, I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Okay, I appreciate that, and I'm happy that I was able to get the opportunity to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's for the people, for real. I set a bunch of alarms the night before. My phone updated. Okay, because we were all me and him were supposed to go together to the expo. So my phone updated and none of the alarms went off. You know what I'm saying? Because it restarted the whole phone. So I woke up and Ola is calling me, and it's like 15 minutes before I have to be in the car ready to go. So I was like, oh man, I gotta get dressed. I'm in the bathroom brushing my teeth. I made a pot of coffee. There was like a coffee machine in my hotel. Made a pot of coffee. I couldn't even bring the pot of coffee. It wasn't done by the time I had to leave. So I left the coffee in the hotel. We went there. As we're getting there and everything, some of the volunteers, and I'm gonna give them their shout outs and a thing when I get the list of the people, but some of the volunteers, they were like, hey, I'm on my way, hey, I'm gonna be late. There's a lot of people, hey, I'm gonna be late. Some of the late people who said they were gonna be late never showed up. Okay. Then there was vendors calling me, and they were calling me, and what's crazy is I was supposed to deal with the volunteer side, and Ola was supposed to deal. And shout out to Ola, because Ola's the dude. Shout out to Ola. Ola, he really handled it.
Yeah.
Ola was supposed to deal with the vendors, but Ola on the phone, and the vendors are calling him, so he's not picking up. So they starting to call me, and they're all like, hey, it's 7:00. We're outside. What's going on? I'm all like, hey, I'm looking at the Uber on the GPS. I'm like, we're gonna be there in 3 minutes. Okay, you sure 3 minutes? Because it's hot outside. I'm like, it's hot outside. I want to go inside. I'm like, oh, we're gonna be there in 3 minutes. Yo, tell me why the Uber driver, I swear, Dallas, y'all gotta do something with y'all Uber drivers. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. The Uber driver, it was 3 minutes away. This man make a turn. He pulls up. This man, he pulls up next to the thing. I'm thinking, okay, he gonna slow down. We about to hop out, open the door. This man circled all the way around again. So it's a whole extra 3 minutes, and I'm just looking. I'm looking like I damn near got kidnapped. Now my face like, where you guys going? I'm sitting there looking at them, right? Circle the whole thing around. So eventually he stopped the car on the side. I gotta walk all the way around. They opened the door, which was crazy because there was staff in the building. So I don't know, maybe it was a rule or something. I'm like, I don't know why the staff didn't let y'all in until we got there, because they was there for a good like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes before they was allowed to come in. So they came in and everybody just rushing to get a spot, try to get a spot. We had to open the VIP thing up. And now what happened is that the VIP people, they had 8-foot tables, because that was what you got with the VIP. They had 8-foot tables, and it was in the VIP room. It was a whole bunch of 6-foot tables. So we had to take those tables down, and it was like cloth over the tables. And to pull the cloth off, the cloth was so long you couldn't pick the table out without like tripping. So I'm trying to pick it up, wrapping up. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just take this cloth off. And the cloth was stapled into the tables. So I had to grab the cloth and literally pull all of the staples out. I had to pull the staples out, right?
Hold on, y'all.
I was trying to movies right now. This man is watching The Little Mermaid.
Go ahead, Afro.
Okay.
I was trying to mute his mic, but it wasn't muting.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So the cloth, I had to pull the cloth out. Then we lined all of the tables. We had to get a bunch of tables. Everybody wanted the long tables. Now there were some people all like, "Hey, I ain't VIP," and it was like, people was like looking at me like, "Hey, Afro, I support your stuff, man." I'm like, "Thank you, brother. Thank you, sister. I appreciate that so well." And then they look like, "Hey, I ain't VIP, but can I get an 8-foot table?" I'm like, I don't. My whole thing is, I was like, I'm gonna see what I can do. That's all I said. I'm gonna see what I can do, because I'm thinking to myself, there's not enough tables. I set those, so everybody got their table set up. Then we're, just helping people really like get unpacked and all that stuff. It was a thing with the Wi-Fi going on. I kept forgetting the Wi-Fi password, because some people, they were using like card readers and stuff like that so people can make their payments. And some people were using tablets. There was a couple sisters, they were using tablets, and they were selling like body soap and stuff. And I kept getting the Wi-Fi password wrong. So I kept running back and forth to get the password correct, because there was numbers. I got that wrong. So then everything seemed cool. You know what I'm saying? Everything was cool. The vendors, the volunteers started to come in. And then next thing you know, it was a big issue, because I'm in the backstage now, because I'm trying to set up, because that's where the dressing rooms were. So I'm trying to set up the dressing rooms, make sure everything is nice and whatnot. Then I'm hearing Ola call me, because this was before we got the walkie-talkie. So Ola calls me. He's all like, "Hey, bro, all hell is breaking loose because of people wanting to get certain spots." So upstairs in the beginning, this is before the expo really started. Upstairs, people was all like, "Hey, you taking up too much room. I want to get this spot. I want to get this spot." So it was a whole bunch of people kind of bumping elbows upstairs about the spot. So we went up there, we got that straightened out. Tariq even had to come and help get that straightened out. So that got straightened out. Everybody was like, "Hey, there's gonna be so many people here, your business will be seen. Nobody's business will be overlooked. No matter where you post up, everybody's business will be seen. So we had to make sure that got done. So after that, some of the volunteers started to come in, and one of the volunteers, he has a business. This was the real estate brother. I got to get the name of his exact business. He was in from pretty much the very beginning, because he said he'd get there around like 9. So he was in from the beginning. Another guy, I'm not talking about the couple other sisters, who was Casey. That was one of the sisters, and Casey and her other sister's name. What's the other sister's name? I got him. I'm not gonna look right now. I think it was Angelica, I believe. I'm gonna get her name in a second. But shout out to them. I'm talking about, there was another guy who came around 9. So everything was kind of getting settled. All right. I'm making sure everybody is straight. Everybody's business is set up, because there were some people are like, Afro, I don't have any tablecloths, man. Where's all the tablecloths? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get you a tablecloth. So I go to Ola. Ola just pretty much before the expo, he was just on some chill stuff. He was all like, ain't no tablecloths. I was like, oh, I got to tell her there's no tablecloths. He was like, see if you can find some. So I'm looking all around the place, and the expo had their own tables. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just borrow a tablecloth from them. And when I did that, the ushers, they were like, oh, you can't touch our tables. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I'm going to put this tablecloth back. They made me put everything back the way it was. So I'm like, okay, fine. I was waiting on certain people to come in. This one volunteer, bro, this was around 11 o'clock. This man, and this is not his fault, because I don't know what it is about Dallas in like the directions, but everybody's GPS was just totally off. Nobody, even the other volunteers, nobody was like able to find it easily. Everybody had like issues finding the place. So I was outside. I was like, let me know when you see me. I'm on this street. And then there was a bunch of people who was like, oh, okay, so I'm on Lamar Street. Where do I turn? I'm like, I'm not from here. I don't know where you turn from Lamar Street. So I had to go outside. I had to look at the streets, and I had to like literally be their GPS. And I even said, I'm all like, okay, text me a picture of what you see. So they text me a picture. So then I'm all like, I'm looking at that. Okay, I remember that. I'm like, go to the tunnel, make a left, make a right. I'm literally giving people GPS directions. This volunteer, shout out to him because he was helpful though. This volunteer, he came and he was like, hey, I'm walking, but I really need some help, because I'm lost. I'm like, okay, cool. I said, text me a picture of what he's like, because he kept saying, I'm in the building. And then I'm all like, okay, where are you? He's like, I'm downstairs. I'm like, okay, well, I'm upstairs. I'm thinking I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to meet him halfway, because I was going downstairs anyway. I went upstairs. I was upstairs. I'm downstairs. I don't see you. He was all like, I don't see anybody. I'm like, what do you mean you don't see nobody? And I went back upstairs. I'm like, bro, where are you? I said, text me a picture of where you are. This man texts me a picture. This man is in a completely different building. This man is in a completely different building. I'm like, what the hell? So now you guys know, for the people who were there at the expo, you all know that there was like a building attached to the other building. So this man, what I assume, was attached to that building, because he took a picture of what it looked like outside. So I'm all like, oh, it's all right. I'm gonna just walk through the building, go to the next building. I'm gonna find him. I'm gonna bring him back. So I go in the next building, right? Tired, hungry, thirsty. I'm going in the next building, and there was this big ramp. I have to go up this ramp around the corner, and he's all like, I don't know what it was, but he was like, I'm by area D. So I'm looking, I see there's the signs, there's A through F. So I'm like, okay, so I'm just going to take A through F, and I'm going to get to area D, and I'm going to circle it, and I'm going to find him. I'm going to bring him back. I was doing the most to get this man because we needed the help. So I'm like, okay, let me go do that, because damn near nobody else showed up. So I'm going around, And I don't know, Dallas got to get that together, because going around, it was area A through F. And I'm assuming that it's going to be area A, area B, area C. But every single sign, it was area A through F, area A through F, area A through F. I'm like, where is area D? So I'm sitting up there. I'm literally going all around inside. Then I go to the bottom. I'm like, man, maybe area D is downstairs. So I'm going around looking for area D. I'm like, can you describe what you see? He's like, I see an escalator and I see a pickup. He said, I see an escalator and I see a forklift. What do you mean? You see an escalator and a fork? I'm getting frustrated at this point because it's hot. I'm like, dude, there's no escalator and I walked around this whole building. There's no escalator in the forklift. This man sent me a picture of an escalator in the forklift. I'm like, where is this man? I'm like, you know what? Meet me outside and tell me what street you're on. So I'm thinking he's gonna be right outside the building. This man, I leave the building. I'm assuming he's gonna name the street and everything like that. I'm like, call me back because I gotta call other people. So 5 minutes later, he leaves the building. He's like, yeah, I'm under a tunnel now. How are you under a tunnel now? And because there was some tunnel getting in there. I'm like, man, where I'm thinking he is right outside of the building attached, because there's two buildings attached to each other. So I'm thinking, if I told you to step outside, how did you get under this tunnel? And I'm not trying to diss, bro. If he's listening, I'm not trying to diss. But man, this man, every time I called him, it seemed like he was 40. I called him. I'm all like, here. He's like, hey, can you give me the address? I'm like, brother, you didn't have the address to the place? You didn't have the address to the place? So I text him the address to the place. And then he was all like, okay, I'm going to put it in my GPS. And it says I'm about 5 minutes away. I'm like, okay, cool. 5 minutes away. 10 minutes go by. I call him. I'm like, where are you? He's all like, well, I see a building next to me and it's a lot of trees and it's a parking lot. And I'm all like, okay, can you tell me the street? Can you take a picture? He took a picture, showed me. I had no idea where this man was. I'm like, dude, no diss, brother. But it's almost like every single time I called, this man told me he was like lost in some other universe or something like that. I don't know what it is with the GPS. I was expecting a call and he was all like, there's a space shuttle and a 3-legged cat. And then call back and say, I'm stranded in the desert and all I see is sand and a cactus. I didn't know where this man was, but eventually he came. Shout out to him. He came and, you know, he was helping out and everything because there was a thing with the VIP room. So we had to get that straightened out because this was around 12. So I'm like, okay, y'all just kind of, I don't really have nothing to do for you right now. Just wait, I guess. Just ask the ladies at the front desk if they need anything or whatever the case is. Then Black Alpha and Sage, they were calling because everybody was coming up to me like, Afro, can I get a picture? Are you Afro Elite? Are you Afro Elite? I'm like, yeah, I'm Afro. I was on my high horse a little bit. I'm like, every time somebody's like, are you Afro Elite? I was like, yes, I am Afro Elite. Actually, you know what I'm saying? I was kind of pissed off a little bit. Indeed, I am Afro Elite, actually. So I was taking pictures and I was, you know, having a time with folks. And then Sage and Black Alpha, they were walking together. They were traveling together. And they were calling me. Like I said, man, the GPS, bro, it was just like, I'm like, man, because they were telling me they were having a hard time. I'm like, damn, everybody's having a hard time finding this place. But I linked up with them. So, you know, at that point, I was talking or whatever the case is. And then it became a thing where it was people in a VIP room and some of the speakers were showing up late. So this is when I called Ola. I'm like, Ola, like, what's going on? And he's all like, he's not calling me back. This is when I went to the back and got the radio. So I'm calling him on the phone. I'm Ola, where are you? Where are you? I had the radio in my hand. Ola, are you in the building? Are you in the building? This man was in, he was out, he was in, he was out. He was just doing a lot of stuff. So this is when this man tells me that a bunch of people just canceled out of nowhere. So this is when this man tells me, he was like, hey, he's like, tell people, because a lot of people were coming up to me. He was like, hey, Afro, this is because they had like the schedule on the back of a pamphlet. So they were coming to me with the pamphlet, and it was all like, Afro, this is supposed to be going on at this time. And Ola was like, tell him it's pushed back. It's pushed back. It's pushed back. The VIP room was supposed to start around 11. Okay. And it was supposed to start with Raheem Shabazz. He was like, tell him that's pushed back. Tell him that's pushed back. Because the thing is, the VIP room, it was supposed to be people hosting it with certain guests. At that point, none of the guests were there. At that specific point, it was a lot of stuff going on. They weren't there. He was like, tell him it's pushed back. Tell him it's pushed back. I'm all like, okay, it's pushed back. There was a guy who was supposed to do the what you might call it, the survival seminar. A guy who was supposed to do the survival seminar, he wound up canceling. He did a whole bunch of shady stuff, wound up canceling the day of. The Pill brothers wound up canceling the day, I think the day of or the day before, but we didn't know that they weren't going to show up until that day, right? Now, what's funny about the Pill brothers is there was a couple of people who came up to me. Well, no, there was a floor plan. No, so there's a thing in the chat room. The day before, we did go to the expo, and we laid out a lot of stuff in the expo. Now what happened is we had the whole floor plan set up, set out, and everything like that. What the unexpected part is that when the fire marshal got there, the fire marshal was all like, oh, you can't put this table here. You can't put this here. This room is too small. You can't block this off. You can't block this off. And then there was an issue with the food vendor too. Because the police was all like, okay, well, you're verified, but you're not verified for here. So that now you have to go. The food vendor almost left entirely. There was almost no food at all. But we found a way to, it kind of like, okay, if we park across the street, that's cool, right? And he was like, yeah, that's cool. So it was a lot of stuff that we had to like adapt on the fly, because the way we mapped it out, the fire marshal came in and was like, oh, we didn't expect these many people. This is a fire hazard. You can't put a table right here. You can't put a table right here. So we had to like, okay, sorry, sir, we got to move your table. So it was a lot of that going on like the whole time. Tell people they can't stand right here. Tell people they can't block this exit. They can't block this and that. So it was a lot of that going on. So, yeah, we did it, stuff like that happens. As I was waiting, for Marcel, because he was supposed to be the VIP at 3:00. I was waiting for Marcel. That's when we were all in the VIP room and just kind of talking. Had to set this big, and it was staff supposed to do that. Their staff, because Tariq hired staff who was supposed to do that. They didn't do that. We had to do that. Set up the
background, that little backdrop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Had to do that. And there was some people, because the red pill and blue pill, they were supposed to be there. They wound up missing their flight, couldn't make it. No diss, but it is what it is. But there were some people coming up to me. They were all like, hey, Afro, where are the pills? And I was all like, I think you talked to the wrong person. I don't got no pills for you. Like, brother, so you mean the pills aren't here? I'm like, the pills? Excuse me, like police, security. This is the wrong event, sir. But it got to me like, okay, red pill and blue pill. That's what you mean, not the pills, right? But it was unforeseen circumstance that some of the speakers weren't able to come, because some people were asking about Professor Small, some people were asking about Boyce Watkins, and some stuff happens and people aren't able to make it, and that it is what it is. So people asking me about, apparently I was the go-to person to ask about why people didn't show up. I didn't know why nobody showed up, to be honest, or the people who didn't come show up. So we were waiting on Marcel to come in, or whatever the case is. No diss to Marcel, but I kept calling Marcel. It would ring a couple times. It would go on voicemail. It would ring a couple times, like he was hanging up. I'm like, Marcel. And at this point, I'm sitting up there. I'm a little bit irritated, because I'm sitting up there, been doing all this running around and moving stuff and running to the back and making sure everything is good. I'm like, Marcel, brother, if you don't pick up this damn phone, at that point I was like, okay, it's cool, because around that time, waiting for 3:00, Vicky Dillard showed up. So what we had to do is we had to escort Vicky Dillard to her room, and you know, her clothes, please, brother. Okay. We had to wait for sorry.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That we had to wait for her to, you know, get, you know, her stuff situated. So we got that situated. Marcel came, and we needed, and shout out to Brother Sage and Brother Black Alpha, because we had to kind of damn there be security for Marcel. Had to box Marcel in. After Marcel came up, he met Vicky Dillard. We showed him his dressing room, all of that stuff. And then we had to go upstairs, because then it was Marcel came like right at the time it was time for him to go on the VIP thing. So at that point, I was like, okay, cool. Now I can kind of rest a little bit. Everybody's straight. The VIP people are straight, all that. Then Dr. Kaba showed up. Shout out to Dr. Kaba. He showed up, you know, him and his family. We had to, me, Brother Sage Alpha, we had to escort him back to his room. So after that point, it was a lot of us escorting people back and forth. You know what I'm saying? After that, we kind of, everybody was straight. Then we kind of had to do the security thing for the most part. And then that was successful, you know what I'm saying? Except like Rizza Islam, because he had his own security. And boy, his security was not playing no games at all. This man had the Secret Service as his security. His security wasn't playing no games at all. Him and Tariq had their own security. So, you know what I'm saying? There was security in the building, but we wanted to give Dr. Kaba, Marcel, and Sister Vicky Dillard, we want to give them an extra layer of security, because they get flooded with people when people see them walking through the crowd. You know, so we had to do that. And then that was up until like the event, the main event. So I let everybody know, okay, the main event was going cool, and we just kind of chilled for the main event. And I was just kind of running back and forth to try to clean up a little bit and catch the main event, because we had to be out there out of the building by 10:00. So I was, you know, running back and forth, making sure everything was straight. Everybody was getting their stuff packed up, because I told them I would help if they needed their stuff packed up. So I was doing that. One thing though, when Eve and Ogun came in, they needed a table. And at that point, all of the tables were over with. So in my mind, it was so much going on. I had to take pictures. It was so much going on. I'm Ola, where are you? We need this. We need this. I got to talk to the speaker. I got to go in the back room. There was sinks that wasn't working. I had y'all saw there was sinks that was not working. I had to go under the sink and turn the sink. I'm up there. I'm doing everything. So in my mind, there was so much going on. Eve needed a table, and I'm all like, I remember telling y'all, and y'all can contest, I'm not lying. I'm like, bro, I literally have an image of a stack of tables. They're downstairs. Oh yeah, the stack of tables is downstairs. I promise.
Now listen to this story right here, Taurean. Listen to this.
I had this image.
Yeah, because I missed all of this.
And we literally from upstairs, we put all of her stuff in the VIP room, because we didn't want nobody to mess with it until we set that up. So we go downstairs in the back room, and I'm looking, I'm like, damn, where are these tables? I remember seeing there was a huge stack of tables. So then there was a basement. We go all the way downstairs to the basement. There's no lights or nothing like that. We in the control room and everything. Sage had to flash his light. It looked like we in a whole mystery room. Eve, you need to appreciate these brothers was working. We in a mystery room looking for these damn tables. I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. I don't know where these tables are. So there was another table. We like, you know what? Damn it. We just broke that table down. Big 8-foot table. had to carry the table up the stairs, out the basement. Then we went around the corner. Yeah. It was, remember, in the other building, we had to go in the other building because we didn't want to go up the second set of stairs. And we had to take that big ramp around the building, walked I'm sitting up there. I'm tired. Alpha's like, you know what, let me take over and everything like that. Sage, I think, was trying to show off at the time. So Sage was trying to show off. Sage was all like, I can hold this table all by myself. And do you need this brick wall too? I can hold this brick wall too. I can bring that. If y'all needed it, I'm like, Sage, calm down, brother. We get you strong. You go to the gym, brother. He was like, oh, okay, so I can put this motorcycle down. I don't have to carry the motorcycle up the stair. I'm like, okay, Sage, you're doing too much, brother. Put that down. So then we put the table in the room. And right next to us, it was this huge stack of tables in the very same room that we set Eve up in. If we would have went in the other room, we would have saw all those tables. So all that going in the basement, and everything was completely unnecessary. We did not have to do none of that. We could have just went in the other room and grabbed the table.
This is like a real life jigsaw situation where the answers you seek in order to survive the game is right there, but because you didn't read through the fine print and really pay attention, you went the long way. Yeah. Man, listen, that is insane. That is crazy.
Yeah, shout out to them because I know they was upset. I'm like, I'm sorry, y'all. I saw the table. I don't know why the image was in the basement. I don't know why I had that image in the basement, but I saw the table. So,
man, that is wow. So those of y'all in the chat that are listening right now, y'all got like a nice probably 20-30 minute behind the scenes situation going on right here that you ain't gonna hear nowhere else about what was going on the technical side of things. Because like I said, you know, I was like, when all of that stuff was going on with them, I was just sitting in the chair. Like just like comfortable, just like paying attention and everything like that. So this story is actually, this is my first time hearing all of this that Afro just explained. So that's why we said at the beginning to put the fire. Y'all might need to do it again. Put some more fire emojis in the chat, because that's why I said you need rest. Like, don't even like try to do like any type of content this week. If you coming on to just explain this is the only form of content that you're a part of this week, let it be the only one, and then start fresh next week, because that is a lot. That is a lot. And you know, it's unfortunate that you didn't have the extra help that was supposed to do it. And also shout out to Sage and Black Alpha, because they didn't sign up to be volunteers, but you wouldn't know that they were, because they were right there helping and assist you. But I have to get on Sage right quick. I got to get on Sage right quick, because speaking of volunteers, Sage, I can tell you was very uncomfortable in that one size does not fit all shirt. because they was like, if you're gonna help, you're gonna put the shirt on, and I could tell you had to squeeze into
bro. So I don't know who exactly. I think it was Ola that got me that shirt. I don't remember exactly who brought me the shirt, but it was like a running joke backstage. They was like, "What kind of shirt you want? A small?" And I was like, yeah, I'll take a small. So they took that literally and brought me a damn small. I'm like, I was joking with this. What the hell? But I want to say this. Afro gave a sanitized version, even though he went through it meticulously. First of all, the reason why me and Black Alpha came to the event together, me, Black Alpha, and Queen. And the reason why we walked to the event is because we didn't trust them damn Uber drivers to get us there. So I just say, you know what? We just going to walk to the event, because it's right there. My hotel was very close. So it's right there. Afro, meet me at my hotel. Not Afro, excuse me. Black Alpha, meet me at my hotel. We'll walk there. So when we're walking there, Afro's calling me like, yo, Sage, where you at? I knew something was wrong. So I'm like, okay. We this far, boom, boom, boom. Afro like, okay, come to this block. I think it was like Lamar and something. And I was like, okay, cool. We'll go there. And then he was like, what do you see? And I'm like, okay, I see a railroad. He was like, do you see trees? Yeah. Walk towards the trees. And then eventually we walked towards seeing Afro. So when we got there, all hell and broke loose. I think there was like only 3 volunteers or 4 at max. I don't know how many.
How many was supposed to be there?
At least 12.
That's
at
a
least
bad
12,
ratio.
yeah.
So it was like
that's not even half.
It was like Afro, another tall dude, some fair skin. I don't know if dude was black or not.
That's the dude who showed up real late.
I figured and left early, but
left early and left early
to the brother. So Afro was like, "Listen, can y'all help out?" Boom, boom, boom. And I was like, "Okay, whatever you need." I wanted to enjoy the expo like all of y'all, but unfortunately, I couldn't. Me and Black Alpha, we just couldn't enjoy it the way we could. You know, hopefully we enjoyed it for you. It is what it is. So we got put to work as soon as we got there, and about that damn dungeon that Afro took us in. So when I say a damn dungeon, this was like, have you ever seen like a horror movie? All 3 black people die. Well, we went downstairs, right? And you know, like in the movie, like don't go down there. It was like a whole damn dungeon. There was no lights at all. So we're walking. You see like spider webs. I might be exaggerating.
Hey, I thought somebody was gonna jump out and grab us, man.
For real.
It was that dark down there.
It was creepy, bro.
Yeah, it was
like lights flickering in the back and all that stuff.
It was like in the movie when you say don't go. You know, like don't go there. So I was like, let me put my damn light on here. So around the corner, it was tables. And Afro didn't say this, but you remember earlier when Afro was speaking, when he said the building that was A through F, that was the building we had to go and walk through and to get to bring the damn table, because it was, even though there was only 6 people in the expo, it was too crowded for us to walk through the damn expo with this big ass table. So we had to go through another building, over a bridge, you know, through some doors, and then go around to the VIP room, because we didn't want to go through all of that downstairs. Now, after we do the tables, Brother Kaba wants to come out of his room. So every time they had to move Marcella, Brother Kaba, they needed an export. Excuse me. I kept on saying that, an export. They needed someone to take them, you know, from A to B, because they were getting swamped. And we know it was 98%, you know, was all love, but we didn't want the other, you know, we didn't want any hiccups. So we had to play, you know, okay, Black Alpha, you got his front, I got his back, Brother Kaba. You know, you can't stop Brother Kaba. You know, I kept on, and much love to his wife. I fell in love with his wife, because she kept him moving, because I didn't want to speak to the elder like, hey, Brother Kaba, I didn't want to push him. I would say to his wife, help. And she would like, keep on moving, Skip, keep on moving, you know, and he would always listen to her, because I know Brother Kaba, when you ask him for anything, advice or any type of knowledge, he gonna give it to you for a good 30 minutes. But he can't do that because he has a whole seminar coming up. So I'm like, Brother Kaba, you got to be here within 3 minutes. I need you to move. He wouldn't move. I would go to his wife. She would go to him. He would start moving. So, but again, you know, it was all love again. It was all love there. The only situation was, I would say, the temperature in the room with Vicky Dillard. And then
that was
people put their damn bags in her room. And I'm like, who the hell bags? You want me to just throw these out? And then we didn't want to touch it, because it might have been thousands of dollars worth of equipment. And we knew that they would have held Tariq liable for it. So we just moved Vicky Dillard to another room where the temperature was better.
That is, so you know, just to piggyback off that, that's the room where I had to fix. That was upstairs.
Yep.
Her room was in the back downstairs. So we had to literally get her room fixed upstairs. That's the room I had to fix the sink, because the room it was a nice room, but the sink wasn't working. So I had to fix the sink, because Casey, one of the other volunteers, like, Vicky Dillard ain't gonna be in no shady room. She was like super big on making sure Vicky Dillard was comfortable. So I'm all like, we had to clean the room up.
Yep.
Because there was crumbs on the table and everything, move some of the furniture out the room and wipe the table down, clean the room up. You know what I'm saying? And then I went under the table, and I fixed the sink, the faucet in the sink, so she can get in there.
We had to make sure the water was running, all of that. So
look, I'm sorry. Can I add, because Marcel Marcel was in the next room over and everything like that. And my whole thing is this. I'm all like, oh, we could just switch Marcel's room downstairs because Marcel was in the room with the working sink. I'm all like, Marcel, we could just like move you downstairs in Vicky's old room, and then put Vicky in your room. But they was like, no, man. The volunteers like, no, we can't move Marcel. He's comfortable. We got to make this other room work. I'm like, okay, fine. So we got to fix the other room. So yeah, keep going, Dave. Yeah.
So and then there was a hiccup where and I don't want to get into the weeds of it because I don't know the E True Hollywood story. I was in the back, so I don't know exactly what happened. But that room that we set up for Vicky, Rizza Islam, I think he ended up taking because he was rushing upstairs. So she didn't even get the damn room. So we ended up putting Vicky behind the damn stage where, hey, it's an easy walkout when you come and do your keynote speech. It's an easy walkout right then and there. Do you need some snacks? That was another thing too. I felt the way, and I'm gonna just make this loud and clear. I felt the way because I'm like, much love and respect to Kiki White, but why she got this big ass room here?
Kiki, listen.
No disrespect to Kiki White at all, but Kiki White had a big ass room, bigger than Tariq's, bigger than Vicky, bigger than Kaba Kamene, bigger than Rizza Islam, bigger than anyone. Maybe all of their rooms put together was a size.
Yeah, I want you to think, Rizza, they're all original rooms. Rizza's room, Tariq's room, Vicky Diller's room, Dr. Kaba's room. Put all four of those rooms together. That's about Kiki White's room. That's how big Kiki White's room was.
Correct. Now, I don't know why she got this big ass room, but neither here nor there. They probably requested that, through her manager, whatever the case is. So we kept on moving snacks and stuff to people's room as they wanted it. So if Kaba Kamene wanted some extra waters or some snacks, some granola bars, whatever the case is, we made sure that they were delivered to his room on time when he was back there ready to get, the snacks and all that. So how can I put this? So Vicky's behind the stage now. Rizza's rushed upstairs, but I believe it's time now for Rizza to speak with the whole VIP situation. So in order to transport Rizza from A to B, now this is where no, I'm skipping ahead a little bit. Rizza was downstairs, and now Kaba and Rizza, I'm walking Kaba to the back where his room is. I'm, escorting him back to where his room is. In the middle of the goddamn we downstairs now. In the middle of the goddamn expo, excuse my language, Kaba and Rizza meet up. Now there's a whole crowd around them. All types of hell can break loose. So I'm like, brother Kaba, you can't stop and talk to Rizza. I know you love Rizza. I get it. But you can't stop right here because now it's about 400 people surrounding us. And it's just me. And I'm like, Kaba, you got to move. I don't get you back here. You have to move. Rizza has the whole nation on one side. Kaba got, us on another side. So it looks like we about to fight. Everybody looking. And all these brothers, they like, oh my God, I love you so much. Boom, 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 chopping it up. And I'm like, could we kind of keep moving, brother Kaba? But you know how brother Kaba is. He's going to speak. So, Rizza was telling him he's going upstairs to speak. Please join him. So Kaba says, okay, we walk back out. Walk back to the dressing room. And I'm giving y'all blow by blow. I'm sorry. We take Kaba back. And I think Black Alpha's with me at this time. But Kaba doesn't want to stay. He wants to go see.
Don't rush that because that's a big deal. Kaba just got done with his VIP, mind you. We just had to escort Kaba from his dressing room upstairs to the VIP. The second he gets done, Rizza shows up.
Yep.
Then Kaba goes back to his dressing room. Then he's all like, you know what? I want to hear Rizza.
Yep.
Can you take me back upstairs? So now we got to take Kaba back upstairs after he just left. Then Kaba sits in the room for like 5 minutes.
Okay, all right, I'm done. Tell him about the door being locked now. Because the door is locked now for the auditorium, where the keynote was at. And they like, oh, we can't open the door. What the hell you mean you can't open this door? Y'all got to walk outside. This is Kaba Kamene. He's not walking outside, bro. So now it's a standoff between me, Afro, and the damn security of the damn building over here. It's a whole standoff here. And then we was like, you know what? All right, we're just going to walk outside and we're going to walk right back in. So we walked outside, walked right back in through the entrance. Now I'm trying to get Kaba Kamene upstairs, but everybody's swarming him. Y'all got to remember, when Kaba Kamene is walking through the expo, everyone is always swarming. When Marcel is walking, they're swarming. These people, you know, Vicky Dillard, swarming. So that's why, you know, Rizza Islam, they're swarming him. Tariq, swarming him. So it's hard to move them throughout the whole building because you got 300-400 people trying to get around them, trying to get a picture, trying to get whatever with them. So we get upstairs now, and I'll share a private moment because Kaba Kamene said I could. We get upstairs. Kaba Kamene is sitting in the back. Stop me if you want, Afro. Kaba Kamene is sitting in the back, and Rizza's doing his VIP, you know, his meet and greet, and a lot of people are coming over to Brother Kaba to ask him questions, to get pictures with him and all that. And Brother Kaba, this is when I seen the human and who he really was as a man. He said, you know what? You know, Sage, I'm gonna leave. And I said, why are you leaving? You know, don't you want to see a speech? He said, yeah, but I don't want to take attention away from that young king on stage. So I'm gonna leave because I'm taking attention away from him. And he didn't like that. So now, after 2 minutes of arriving, Brother Kaba's now leaving again. So now we have to walk back out of the room and get him
back outside
and get him back to his dressing room. All of this within the span of about 10 to 15 minutes. Afro, take it away.
Brother, first off, the whole us running in and out, and it's hot that day. Outside was hot as hell. So I'm all like, us sitting up there doing all this, running up and down stairs, escorting people. So that means because like he's saying, Dr. Kaba is a very, very welcoming person. So anytime somebody says, hey, Dr. Kaba, can I talk to you? He stopped everything. He's like, yes, brother. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll take a picture. Like everything. We like the second you stop, more people start to come and try to take pictures. So we kind of gotta keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was stopping, like, no, man, let me tell you, man, I've been listening to you since I was a kid and all of that stuff, man. So we kind of had to keep telling him. And I was really upset that they made us the staff who were working at the facility, they made us go outside. And then it's not like an outside, we had to go all around on the side of the building to get inside. And then knock on the door and wait for security to let us inside. I'm like, do y'all not see that we are working here? Do y'all not see that this is the face on the flyer here? Y'all can let us through the door. They're like, no, we can't let anybody through the door because we're preparing for the main event. They needed like a whole hour to sound check for the main event. It was something else, man.
Yeah.
And the thing is that Brother Kaba was a keynote damn speaker for the main event. So how was it that he was not allowed to walk through the door? I guess I don't know if Afro or Ola got that straightened out, because the next time I was walking with, like, I believe it was Marcel, we was able to go right through. So I don't know if it got straightened out, but I'm glad that it got handled when it did, because I wasn't no one else.
I think Tariq had that taken care of.
Understood.
But yeah, like that's a lot. Like I said, all the stuff that y'all are like talking about right now, I didn't see that because, you know, I was able to like sit in on some of the you know, like the panel discussions, still kind of float around. I did see y'all like moving around, you know, in passing, and y'all were really, you know, going in. I think the next time I had saw y'all when y'all were upstairs, when y'all finally got a moment, and literally that's all it was, a moment, y'all was sweating like crazy. Like y'all did a few laps around the building. It probably felt like that too. But yeah, I'm like definitely shout out to, you know, Afro, Sage, and Black Alpha for basically going above and well, very much beyond, you know, what you were supposed to actually do in order to help facilitate this event to make sure that it kind of ran smoothly. I think towards the end is when y'all was able to have a moment where y'all could kind of breathe a little bit, because I think at the main event, that's when everything was more settled. Mm-hmm. Everything was more calm because everybody was in the auditorium at that part. And we could talk about like the main event, which started at 6 and ran to like, I think, was it 8 or a little past? Was it past 8? I forgot when did it end? Almost 10.
It started like at 7, and
7. Yeah, it started at 7. It started at 7. Yeah, it started at 7. So for those of you who are looking in the chat right now who don't know what the main event was, the main event was just it was the main part where you had the main speakers. Tariq was pretty much like the host of the main event. You know, you had Vicky Dillard, Dr. Kaba, and Kiki Y. She performed, and then Rizza Islam came and he spoke. He was the one that pretty much closed it out. But also shout out to the 16-year-old DJ.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't catch I forgot his name, but Tariq has said that, you know, he's 16 years old and he was a DJ. Would have never known his age, you know, if Tariq didn't say it, but he definitely had the music in rotation, you know, some good vibes as people were starting to come into the auditorium. And shout out to Afro for hooking me up with that VIP badge. Allegedly. Y'all didn't hear that.
Oh my god.
I wish I would have had one. I didn't hear one.
Yeah, that's and that was because of the thing, because Taurean, you were supposed to get VIP. It was some technical issues. So I just, you know.
Right. Because so
I wasn't hooking up.
Yeah.
Anyway, Black Arrow.
But anyway, yeah. The main event had Tariq basically bring out the speakers. The first person he brought out was Vicky Dillard, because I believe she was the only woman that spoke. The rest were men. And she came out and she did a thing. I think Vicky almost realized that she thought she was about to do her thing, like she was in front of her computer and she was on YouTube for a second there. And I knew someone in the crowd was going to ask this, and she said it on that stage. Did you bring the gavel?
No, I asked that backstage. I don't know if you caught that, Brother Black, but I asked her that backstage when she was sitting down. I was like, "Did you bring the gavel?" She was like, "No, I didn't." I said, "What the hell, man? Where is it? Is it in the hotel? We'll go get it." I was serious. You had to bring that gavel. Now, if you look on my Twitter, she responded obviously to my tweet, and I was like, "Next time, make sure you bring that gavel, because come on, Vicky, you know we know you for that gavel." Come on, man.
I thought she was gonna like have the soundboard and the gavel, you know, with her, you know, but she didn't have the gavel up there, but she did do her thing when she
was
spoke.
amazing. She was amazing. She had a hell of a speech.
Yeah, like she managed to, you know, captivate the audience, you know, with her presence. And then after she was done, Dr. Kaba came on and he spoke. And the thing is, if you was in the VIP when he was there, a lot of the stuff that he said on stage to everybody, he kind of said that when he was in the VIP room. So a lot of the stuff that I heard him talk about, I had already heard. It was some other added stuff that he did in there because he had more time in the VIP. His time was very like limited, so he could only say a few things, and then he like took questions from the audience. And then, you know, he did his thing. He spoke for a little bit, and then after he was done, then that's when they brought Kiki Wyatt out to perform. And I think she did maybe about 6 songs.
I think it was 8.
It was 8. Okay, 8 songs. She did 8 songs. What, like, before we go any further, what did you think about that? Because y'all was on to the side. I was like right in front. I was on that front row.
We saw you, Taurean. I tapped stage. I was like, look at Taurean over there rocking out. And Taurean had the eyes closed. He was. We saw you from the far, bro. Hey,
wow.
Amazing, though.
Yeah. So because like I said, I was really like literally right in the middle of the front row. And the thing is, I was coming back and forth every now and then. I know that Afro came through and he tried to be incognito with the camera, trying to hold it like this. Like we couldn't see you was recording, like holding it like this. Like so. I
had to get that footage. I had to get that footage and everything like that. I literally walked in front of everybody. I had to.
And I'm gonna be honest with you.
And I cupped it because my flash was on because we were taking pictures.
Yeah, I kind of figured that's. what
and the second I started recording, it was a big flash. I'm like. And I didn't even want to turn the flash off. I just like covered the flash part of the camera and started recording like that.
Yeah, and I had wanted to ask you, like, well, more so Afro and Sage, because Black Alpha, he just kind of like stood stationary, like right there. Are y'all knees okay? Because I said I know their knees probably hurting from having to constantly do the crouch run like this, back and forth like this. I said I know their knees is probably killing them right now. I said that looked like it hurt.
So the reason why we had to do that a lot is because, and I'll let it out now, we had to clear some seats in the front row so that the nation could have strategic posts for when Rizza Islam came out.
Okay.
So, certain people, and that's why, again, to anyone in the chat, much love, but certain people couldn't sit in certain spots because we had to have, y'all know. Yeah. I don't need to go through, but we wanted to make sure everything was copacetic. So that's why you always saw me running back and forth and back, because I had to like make sure certain seats were empty, and so that when the brothers came down, when Rizza was about to speak, they had specific seats and specific posts that they can go to. I think it was like a 6'9" dude sitting right by you too, Taurean.
Yeah, it was a guy that was sitting. It was not next to me. Yeah, he had like an all white. He had the little fedora on. Yeah, I couldn't tell from my angle, my vantage point, because I was sitting. So if I was standing up, I would have definitely been able to tell, what his height was. But I can guarantee they were pretty tall. Well, that guy was pretty tall.
Not taller than Rizza. You're taller than Rizza. You tall.
Yeah. And Rizza Islam is pretty tall. Like he has some height to him. That man really is, and I know that from having,
he's kind of swole too. So
like he looked like he about to burst out of every suit he puts on.
Let me say this about the nation, man. Those brothers are so down to earth and so cool. Like they're super accessible, super thorough. You can really like chop it up with them, and they're very, very polite to be around, man. So salute to all. I'm gonna tell you right now, when I actually met Rizza and he said he knew me, he was aware of me, I'm done. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Night's over. Good time. I was like, good. He's like, Black Alpha Network. I'm familiar with you. And I was like, salute, brother. I think this is before we escorted him, Sage. Before this, right? Yeah. I saw you get a picture with him as well, Taurean. Right there.
I'm glad you said that, because that was actually one of my highlights. Was this moment right here. Like that one right there. Like I said, I had to get a picture with this dude. Like he came into the VIP. He was selling his book, and him and his lovely wife Kayla, who was also there. She's the one that took the picture, and they was selling his book. And I had took a picture with him. And when I went up to shake his hand, he said, "You look familiar," but I didn't want to say.
Wow.
I didn't want to say like my name, because I didn't want to come off as cocky or anything like that. So I just kind of like let that just kind of think, because I wanted to see if he was going to figure it out. He said I seen a lot of faces, but I said yours like really looks familiar. So he probably most likely watches the content. I've already had people ask me, they said, Taurean, do you think there's a way that you can get a collab with Rizza Islam? I said that would be dope to have a collab with his brother. But you gotta think this guy has a very busy schedule. He's constantly on the move and everything like that. But I definitely would not be opposed to it. Like if he like reached out to me, or if I reached out to him and say, hey, I want to do a collab because the people been asking for it. And he said, yeah, hey, that would be huge. Like that would probably be one of the biggest collabs I ever do on my channel. I've done quite a couple of them. And let me just clear this out of the way now for the trolls. This outfit that I have on, the color scheme is red, white, and black. A lot of people thought that the black was blue, like a dark navy blue. No, it's red, white, and black. I just had to clear that up because a lot of people thought it was red, white, and blue.
Taurean,
but no,
the FBA outfit. That's the FBA outfit right there. He lying. That's it right there, player. That's all exclusive. That's not even out yet. That's gonna be out next year. That's the new FBA.
I had actually got that outfit probably about over a month ago. Probably a good month before the actual expo itself. And I was worried a little bit because I wasn't sure if this would be comfortable to wear because of the weather. And I didn't want to worry if I was gonna be hot. But then I said, we're gonna be inside. So it's gonna be pretty air conditioned. Didn't break a sweat. This I'm glad I actually wore this because this was very, very comfortable for me to wear. I think the only little sweat pockets I probably had was right around the cuff part of my arm because the sleeves was rolled up, but that was about it. But I was very comfortable. I listen. I bring in all the jokes. Some people said that I was dressed like I was about to run out to the court for a '90s NBA game. I will welcome all the jokes, but yeah, I will definitely be wearing this again. Not anytime soon. Probably when it gets a little bit cooler. But I will definitely be wearing that again. But this moment right here was definitely a highlight for me at this event. You know, got a lot of love off of this picture. I think this picture because I shared it on I think I shared it on Facebook, Twitter, on here on YouTube, and on Instagram. This picture probably got almost 2,000 likes on the community tab. That's like probably one of my most liked posts. And I kind of figured that's what's going to happen. And you got to think, you know, Rizza Islam, I was listening to 5150, the episode they just did on Tuesday, because he was on there. He was a guest on there. And when he was saying certain things, I was like, he said this at the expo. When I was listening to it, I was like, I just heard him talk about this at the expo. So I thought that was pretty dope of him to reiterate what he was talking about just days prior to another audience. But that was a highlight. That was definitely one of my major highlights. And he probably, hands down, it's a good thing they saved him for last as a keynote speaker, because I don't think anyone was going to follow it behind what he said. And it was so interesting because he's such a polarizing figure. Into a lot of people on the outside looking in would say he's rather controversial because he keeps getting kicked off of various social media sites for the stuff that he says. And I thought it was funny how he said, we not on the internet right now, so we all in this room, so I'm gonna say what I have to say right here. You know, they can't ban me out of here. And he let it rip. For those of y'all who missed it, I can't put into words of what he said. Like, you would have had to have been in the room when he said what he said, and it really just kind of registers with you, and it just like had you just sitting back and thinking. But he also made another good. What was you gonna say, Afro?
I was about to say what he said was almost like it was like a breath of fresh air, to be honest. When he said it was like a weight that was lifted off of everybody's shoulders. It was incredible.
Yeah, like
we can't say right now, but you know.
Exactly. Like he basically was saying the things that a lot of Black people have been wanting to say about certain things. I'm not gonna say it on here, but a lot of certain things that we wanted to say. As a matter of fact, he kind of did that when he was up on stage. I'm not going to say exactly what he said. He said, listen, we not online right now. We not on any social media sites. And he says, like, on a count of three, I just want everybody just blurt out this one word. I'm not going to say what the word is, but it begins with the letter V. I'm gonna just put it. And when he said it, everybody just yelled it out, and that was when it felt like the weight was off of everybody, when we were able to just finally just yell out that word and not worry about, oh, we're going to get a strike, oh, they're going to kick us off of this social media platform, or this is going to happen, or this is going to happen. So that was definitely a moment. That whole speech he did was right there. And it was so funny towards the end when he was saying, how many minutes do I have left? They said, I got 5 minutes, like 5 minutes. And then he looked back and Tariq said, we'll give you 10. He said, they gave us 10 minutes. So everybody's like, yes. So I thought that was funny as well. But one thing that actually was kind of crazy to me, and this was more for everybody who went to the expo, probably everyone who was in the state of Dallas, all those damn Amber Alerts. What in the world was going on? All right, for those of y'all who weren't there, or those of y'all who live in the state of Dallas, y'all probably saw them as well. There was a whole bunch of Amber Alerts that went out for that entire weekend. I remember when I landed in Dallas on Friday, I got an Amber Alert before I got off the plane.
Me too.
I was like, what is going on here? I was like, I never got it. I was like, okay, it's an Amber Alert. Okay, it is what it is. But to get like 6 of them in a weekend, I said, I've never gotten that many Amber Alerts where I live. Like, the Amber Alerts are very scarce. Like, they don't have, you probably maybe shoot, you can go months without getting one. But to get like 6 in a weekend, that's insane. I don't know what's going on in Dallas. And then when he was reading the name, of the location, it was like, now it makes sense, because a lot of those Amber Alerts that came through were near the border, like that, near the border of like Texas and Mexico. And I was like, oh, okay, now it's making more sense. And I said, that's scary, but it's making sense. Like, what did y'all think about that?
Hey, I liked how everything he said came full circle. Like, he'll make a point and then he'll bring it all the way back around, and then it'll make exactly what he's saying. I noticed when he said that about the Amber Alerts, the whole crowd, they gasped like, damn, that's true. Because I was noticing it as well. As a matter of fact, you heard a couple of them going off during the whole speech, not his speech, but in the beginning of it.
Yeah.
You heard him going off.
You heard him going off.
So it was crazy. And he made a lot of good points. I like how he talked about San Antonio, and people thought he messed up. He's like, no, y'all know what I'm saying. It's Dallas, San Antonio, the whole nine, all that goes on here. So yeah, that was crazy. I've never seen nothing like that before. Yeah. That was real thorough, man. But that's how Rizza is, man. He's a thorough brother. He talks with so much sense. And I'm not surprised, because like Brother Malcolm always said, make it plain. He could take the most sophisticated, complex situation, and he could break it down to a T to where you just understand it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when it comes to all those Amber Alerts that, we always get, because I was getting them too, brother. Matter of fact, man, I think one woke me up in the middle of the night.
Them Amber Alerts are loud. They're like alarms. Like, that's literally what they are. And they're very loud. And the thing is, they do not stop until you turn it off. Like, they will continue to do that loud, long buzz sound. Yeah. And it's very loud. Like, you cannot escape it until you just turn the sound off.
I actually had to turn my phone down. See, my phone was pretty much on mute, because I didn't want to be the person where it goes off and everybody starts looking at you and stuff. So I turned my phone all the way down just so I could avoid one of them, and it still ended up happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty deep. That's pretty scary, man. It really is.
Yeah,
at first it was so frequent, I'm thinking they're the same Amber Alerts.
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking too, that they were the same ones, but they were different ones. I'm like, what in the world is going on? Because I had my phone, and then I had my Apple Watch on. So it's like, now I'm hearing double the sound. Yeah, I said that was crazy. I said I got one as soon as I landed. I think I got one probably, when I got to the hotel, and then I got a couple more. And then, like you said, there was more that happened at the expo, and even after. It was just, a lot. That is insane. And someone has said that they live in Texas, and that's not new for them. I said, that's new for me, considering, I don't live in Texas, but it's scary at the same time, though.
Is there something that we need to know about Dallas, to the family in the room? Is there something we need to know? Like, what's going on in Dallas that so many Amber Alerts,
I don't think this was just in Dallas. This was just all over Texas, because one of them came out of San Antonio. So, like, it's a statewide thing. And like I said, you got to think Texas is right there where Mexico is. Right under Texas is Mexico. And I said, that's probably, I'm starting to make a connection. It's a bordering state. So, I mean,
yep.
Yeah. I said, I think I'm starting to see why that is. I should have, what I should have did? I don't know why I didn't think to do this. I should have asked somebody in there who was from Texas, who was at the event, how is your governor doing? I'm like, how is Governor Wills doing? I don't know. I was a missed opportunity for me.
Hey, Taurean, in the private chat, man, I put up some pictures, man, because I know we all took some.
Okay. Hold on.
We took some epic pictures.
You know what? I didn't even think of
that. Before we go, just so we can clear things up about the VIP thing, just to clear that out, I want to explain myself a little bit. There was somebody who had contacted me and told me, bought a VIP ticket, but and I know them personally, but they let me know that they weren't able to go and that I could have the VIP ticket, which I didn't need because I was volunteering. Taurean was literally one of the first people that I saw that I knew. So if they gave it to me, I was like, I'm just give it to Taurean. So that's kind of what happened there. So nobody needs to go around spreading anything else, because that's what happened.
I'm glad you cleared that up. And by the way, this is the background that Afro was talking about earlier, that they ended up having to put up because the people that were supposed to be there to do it weren't there. But this FBA Expo, this was in the VIP room. That's the background they were talking about. but it got put up though.
Yeah, we found out how to do it. We had to find out on the fly too.
Real talk.
Right.
And I want to say this too, family. If you're going to volunteer to, help out a situation in which you're helping out the family, you're helping out, the B1 Brigade, show up. Please be there. Don't have, us thinking that you're going to help and volunteer and then don't show up. Or just don't waste your time and say, I want to volunteer. But guys, let's be, especially when we throw on big events like that, let's be professional and stick to your word. Be a man of your word, a woman of your word, especially when it comes to the family. Do that shit with the white people, do that with them. But when it comes to us and our business, let's take it to the utmost professionalism, guys. If anyone in the chat here volunteered.
Exactly.
Yeah, stick to your word, man, because that stuff ain't cool. People put a lot of work, time, energy, and effort.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to you, brother Afro, because like I said, man, if me and Sage did 9 to 5s, Afro did like 5 doubles, man. He
right. Exactly. That's why I said That's why I said you need as much rest as you possibly can get. And I hope you've been getting some, rest.
Afro took time off of work, but he didn't stop working. So let's just say that, okay?
Exactly.
Afro was working in Chicago and he was working in Texas, family.
And guess what? And I'm gonna put this down here. I'm gonna put this right here, right now, Afro, because I think you volunteered for the Rally for Reparations and you volunteered for this event. I'm making this declaration for you right now. At the next event, don't volunteer. Like, just go. Just go so you can actually just go. So you can actually, seriously, so you can actually enjoy yourself. Because I know that you probably wanted to actually really experience the expo like a lot of other people that were there, and you really couldn't because you were constantly on the go. And the thing is, you didn't have all the help that you were supposed to. So it felt like you probably wish that you was able to turn into a damn spider and grow like 6 extra arms, so you could actually be able to, function. At the end of the day, you're still human like everybody else, and you deserve to actually enjoy this expo like everybody else did. And unfortunately, I don't think you really had the opportunity to do so because you had a lot on your plate. So the next time that there is a event, let someone else take the reins, let someone else handle it, and you just, enjoy yourself.
I don't think that's in the spirit, brother Taurean, but good try.
I'm just saying. I
get you, because there was some stuff I missed out on. There was some workshops that I heard was very good, very, very well.
Yeah, I sat in on a couple of them.
I
didn't get to see any
workshops. I missed all of the workshops. And the VIP. But I'm not sitting up there being I truly appreciate the opportunity to do all of that stuff. So getting it back and everything like that. When I met Rizza Islam, I'm all like, hey, I'm Afro Elite, and he was like, oh, okay, how you doing? Like Rizza remembered talking to me on Twitter Space, because we talked a couple times on Twitter Spaces, and Ben X. They all knew who I was. I'm thinking I'm introducing myself and I'm gonna explain what I do, but they knew of me, and that was a great thing to be in the back with them. Dr. Kaba and all that stuff. So I'm not regretting any of that.
Yeah.
But there was something. It was a sacrifice. It was a give and a take.
Yeah. Yeah. And like Daniel said in the chat, it's that you're not going to be able to not lend a hand that it's in you. Like you just have that. You just have that natural, aura of wanting to assist and wanting to help out. And I mean, that's understandable. Like I said, that's just my suggestion. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm speaking for myself. I think that's probably what it is. I'm probably speaking for myself. But one of the I guess cons that I had, and I think that each of us did, as well as probably a few other people that was there, was the lack of food trucks. Yeah. It was only one food truck there. Just one. And then when I went out to actually finally go get some food from them, they said they were shutting down because they ran out of food. Because they only had one food truck there. So yeah, it was a lot of
But hold on,
hungry
people. How did they run out of food when it was only like 6 people in the expo? I don't understand. How did they run out of food?
The expo was empty.
The expo was empty. How do you run out of food? I'm trying to figure this out. The two don't go together, but continue, brother.
Yeah.
Let me
for those, I feel like I don't even have to explain that for those of y'all. Hopefully that didn't go over y'all head with what they just said, because people will probably be like, "Huh?" But I thought you said there's all those people there. Like what? Like you
guys just lied. We saw the video. What are you talking about?
Nah, that was all. Listen, nah, that was AI. That's what you saw. Oh man.
Speaking of food too, you know, all three. I don't know about you, brother Taurean, but all three of us, the only food we really ate was Just Eve's cookies throughout the day.
Yeah, like any type of food that vendors that were there, that was probably the food that we ended up getting. As far as like, so we were literally nibbling throughout the day, like snacks. Mm-hmm. When I tell you, like I found some food immediately after that event was over. I talked to Eve a little bit, maybe for about 15 minutes, and I left and got me something to eat, went back to the hotel, crushed it, and went to sleep because my brother was tired. When I tell you I was not as tired as y'all, but when I tell you I was tired, but mainly because I was like starving. You know, I'm surprised that I didn't like have like hunger spasms or hunger pains throughout the day. I'm surprised I was able to like get through the day with very limited food. But yeah, that was a major con, was the lack of the food trucks, unfortunately.
Yeah.
In Dallas,
and the fact that the food ran out. Now I can explain why all of that stuff happened, but that was a con.
In Dallas, I think the food truck, again, I'm not from Dallas, but from what the sister that was from there told me, is that they're not that big in food trucks as they are in Houston. So the different type of permits that may be needed, they were not able to get them maybe in a timely fashion. Because Afro was just talking about the food truck was parked. And when I say across the street, guys, it was
literally across the street,
across a damn highway to get to the food truck.
Yeah,
very interesting. But my issue with the food truck, because I heard it was amazing, the food, but why didn't you bring extra? I mean, maybe they didn't know they was gonna be the only ones there. Okay, granted, yeah, but you knew there was gonna be hundreds, thousands of people there. You gotta. Hey, send somebody to the damn supermarket and keep the food coming. Keep it coming, man. Come on. I know they made a gang of money. And shout out to that black family that did that. They made a gang of money. But, bro, come on, man. Because when it was time for me and Afro, I believe that was after Marcel got there.
Yep.
Like a good 5 minutes. And that's what Taurean was talking about. We were sitting down in the VIP room just trying to catch our breath and all of that. And then it was work right after that.
Yeah. I know y'all was hungry. I know I was.
I was getting something to eat when Marcel went on, and then I said, "Oh, they ran out of food." Right, and that was around like 4 o'clock or something, 3 or 4.
Yeah, because we had went out there, like we was going across the street, to go and get some food, and that's when we went over there, and we saw them literally take the last person's order, and I should have known something because it was hardly nobody over there. If they still had food, it would probably been like a line still. But it was like hardly no one over there. And when they said it was no more food, I said, that's why it looks empty over here. And I was mad because I'm going to be honest. I saw some of them trays that people came back with. That food looked like it was fire.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Like, I was mad because you could smell it. Like, you know, when you hungry and that sense of smell heightens. Like, you can smell food like a mile away. Like, we were almost like some bloodhounds. And that food looked and smelled so good.
Now, the situation
I bought me a pizza before I went, so I was good.
Now,
I mean,
and I finished it when I got back to the hotel. I'm just saying.
Now, the food situation was the fact that in order to have a food truck, you have to have a permit, and this is, food safety permit and everything like that. So you have to have a permit, and then you have to have a pass to be parked at the facility to get all that. Then the day of, the police was all like, oh, you're going to have, because there were not supposed to be just one food truck. That was the only food truck that stayed, the police said the food trucks got to go pretty much. The lady that stayed, she stayed because she wanted to talk to Tariq about the situation. They said you have to have your permit be attached to the permit that's attached to the event. Since you're selling, bro, that I'm literally, because they were getting mad at me or whatever, and Ola said, "Hey, go talk to them and see if what you can do to fix this." So I'm talking to the lady. The lady says, "Hey, I don't want to risk my license selling food here, and I'm the only one here because the other people they just like, all right, okay, we gone." So they left. She stayed. She was like, "Hey, I want a refund and everything like that." So I'm like, "Okay, just wait." I went to the police. I started talking to them. I was all like, "Hey, is there anything that we can do?" They was like, "Nope," because you needed 2 weeks to put the permit in to attach the permit to this permit. So it was a whole bunch of stuff with the permits and everything like that. You need a permit. You need 2 permits technically, and then you need a parking pass. And I'm all like, "Okay, can we do anything today?" They was like, "No, nothing can be done today." So that's when the only food truck that stayed, that was that food truck. You know what I'm saying? So that food truck, what we had to do is we had to be all like, since that food truck can't be a part of the event, the food truck can still sell food, but they can't sell it at the event. So what we wound up doing is we took the food truck had to be placed across the street.
Okay,
so
it's not a street.
Not
you keep saying street. It's damn near a highway.
To the people at the event, but you're not selling it at the event. The officers kind of let that slide like a little bit, because technically it is. They was all like, "Well, technically, if you do this, wink, wink," and it was kind of like that. But that's what it was. Only one food truck out. But man, and they didn't expect that. That's why they ran out of food, because they didn't expect only one truck to be there.
And Afro keeps saying street. It was a damn highway, okay? So
it was a
damn highway. So
it was kind of busy because it was like literally like in an intersection. Yeah. So yeah. But that was the only like little downside. But I'm glad that you expounded more into that, because a lot of people from the outside looking in weren't going to know exactly why there was only one truck there. So I'm glad you expanded. Like, you're kind of like the inside man.
Yeah, who is somebody in the, I think there's a troll, and he says we're explaining what happened. I don't know what there's somebody's I'm not snitching on nobody. Everybody who's there knows what happened. And I'm actually giving an explanation, because it's like nobody expected that. Everything was supposed to be, everything was straight, and then it was the last minute, like I'm saying, the last minute the fire marshal came saying you can't do this, you can't do this. The police came, said you can't do this, you can't do this. So it was a lot of, we got to get stuff done right then and there. We got to make stuff happen right then and there. So that's what happened with the food truck thing. So the next time we're definitely going to have that straightened out and aired out.
People got to remember too, man, there are always going to be blockades when we're getting together and we're being productive and powerful. You're always going to have people trying to run small interference, and we pretty much pivoted around all the Afro. Brother, you was in the trenches, fam. Everything was done perfect. I might be lowballing it, man, but everything was done right, man. Everybody was taken good care of. We were out there. There was so much love in the building. Within the first 3 minutes when we walked in, Sage, when me, you, and Queen went in there, I got it with our brother Afro and what's my man, Racer Bo. Shout out to Racer Bo, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mad love. We took pictures. You could just feel a sense of love in the room, and we were all functioning. If somebody was lacking something, someone would pop out of nowhere and just be like, "Hey, you need this?
Yeah.
Here's this." People volunteering, helping each other out. I know me, you, and Taurean, we went down there to help Eve. We were like right out front waiting for.
To help her carry the stuff in.
Yeah, we were like the first ones out there, talking. All right, we were around the corner. Everybody was assisting each other. It was so much love. That's why I say there was nowhere on the planet that was radiating that much Black empowerment. I don't give a damn. I'm talking about the whole planet. That right there was the epicenter of everything. And to tie it all in real quick, that right there is why they don't want us to have reparations. Because what you said people in there talking about self-defense, financial literacy, vegan, eating good, healthy stuff. Every single aspect of our society was represented in that building, and nobody was saying me, me, me. Everybody was working with each other, learning. Every little workshop you could have went to, every vendor you could have went to, anybody you bumped into, you could have took something away and learned. So it was mad love, man. Everybody was there putting out a lot of energy. The rally for reparations was a powerful event, and this was just on another level. You felt the love, as when I met up with Brother Sage, because like I said, we met with Sage and we walked up. The closer you got, the more you could feel the energy. And as soon as you stepped in there, it took over. It was humbling, and it was something like my brother Afro said, man, we're gonna tell our grandkids about that. It was that beautiful. It was a beautiful event. And the people who weren't there, we felt y'all in spirit. So it's like y'all were there anyway. So it was, super love, man. A whole lot of certifieds in one place at the same time.
Bro, let me tell y'all something about Black Alpha. This man has so many people wanting to take a picture with this man. I'm sitting up there. I needed him for something. I think it was to escort somebody. I'm like, hey, Alpha. He looked at me. He tried to leave. The person stopped him from leaving. Like, fuck Afro, leave. Hey, he was like, talk to me right now, man. This ain't about him. I'm like, Alpha, I need you right now. He was like, I'm gonna get back with you. These people didn't want to let this man go. It was crazy.
Hey, I can say the same thing about Afro now, because I'm sitting there, I'm like walking by. Man, hold on. See, I got 100 stories. I'm coming up with stories as I'm thinking. Let me stick to one. I'm sitting there and I see Afro over there talking to people. I literally turn to talk to somebody and look back. Afro's gone. Now he's over there talking to somebody else. And I'm like, how the hell did he get over there that fast? I see Afro upstairs and I'm like, all right, bro, I'll see you in 2 seconds. Come back. Then I bump into him downstairs. I'm like, this man is everywhere, all the way around, man. Same with Sage too. Sage, you always do that though. I see you at the rally. Sage, there's like 5 Sages at the rally. There was like 5 of them everywhere I turned, man. So, man,
you just blame it on New York. You think that New Yorkers take over everywhere we go, and that's not the truth. Not all the time.
I know. Hey, I know one thing, man. It was awesome, man. It was great to see all of y'all. That's what I remember the most, man, because I seen everybody within the first few minutes. You know what I'm saying? It was wonderful, man. I'll never, ever forget it. We did a lot of talking before leading up, you know what I'm saying? So we kind of knew what we was going for, but these were the brothers that I was with the whole time, all the way at the end. Taurean Rain, shout out to you, brother, because when one of these 2 brothers called me and I had to go and I had to leave my wife, I was like, Taurean, can you watch her for me real quick? Because I gotta go run. And so shout out to my brother Taurean, man. He helped me down because my wife, I'm sorry, darling. I had to leave her a couple times and take off. And I was like, duty calls, and we had to go. So,
right.
Taurean helped me down.
I would say this too. Leading up to the expo, like my brother Black just spoke on, we had like so much expectations on how it would be, how we would be at the expo. None of that happened. We basically, again, I had an amazing time at the expo. I wouldn't change anything that none of these brothers did at the expo. But first of all, I think the expo exceeded everything that I thought it would be. I didn't think it would be 2 floors of just Black businesses, Black-owned businesses. So many, like the private VIP room, the workshop seminar room, the big ass auditorium where the keynote speakers room. Brother Tariq did a lot, and whether you want to give him all the credit, like I said, because I think that regardless of what me and Black did that day, Afro deserves a lot of credit for that going down, and a lot of people not noticing a lot of things that didn't come, in front of the curtain. Everything was held behind the curtain, and everything ran from the front. It looked like everything was smooth. And I know Brother Tariq was talking about that. It was a goddamn mess. It wasn't. I don't want to say it was a mess. It was rough. Let me say that it was rough.
It was something else.
Yeah. But our expectations, none of that occurred. But I still enjoyed it to the fullest because I wouldn't change not a second the way it went down.
No. I'm gonna say this too. Ladies, y'all had to be there because these brothers was getting shows. Okay, Brother Sage and Taurean specifically, because they came out there. They came out there. Their shoulders looked like they got out the hyperbolic time chamber. I saw I was recording, and that's when I saw Taurean because he came early. I was recording and he was wearing all white. I guess I don't know how I missed him because I thought he was a wall. I missed him because his shoulders so broad. I thought he was a damn wall. I looked like, damn, that's Taurean.
And I actually saw
Sister Rally. Damn.
I actually saw you before you saw me because I saw you was like it was at that point where you was moving so fast and I saw you had recording and I said I'm gonna just stop right here because I know he's gonna have to turn around and he's gonna see me and when you came around, boom, he's like, oh, like you just kind of caught me like right there.
Yeah, man. That Black Alpha's wife wasn't letting none of that happen.
Man,
Black Alpha's wife wasn't letting none of that happen. Shout out to Queen. She wasn't with none of that.
The whole time I was like, all right, I'm going with Afro and Sage, okay?
Shout out to Queen, man. Much love to Queen, man.
No. Queen Alpha had me cracking up when y'all was setting up in the VIP room with the chairs.
Oh my god! The chairs are not even. Oh my god!
Yeah, with the chairs, that was funny. That had me cracking up. She said these chairs are not even. Like, and all she really did was just move it just a slight bit over, just a little bit. Not even to the point where even if you didn't move it, you wouldn't notice it was something wrong. But she said these chairs just aren't even. So I thought that was funny.
I was like, come on, man. I was like, it's 2 inches off. She's like, no. Fix it. That's what I got to be with, man.
Yeah.
It was a family affair, man. And shout out to Sincere, man. Got a chance to meet his
son.
Shout out
unfortunately, he wasn't able to come up because he said he was at a concert with his daughter. He had DM me on Instagram. But he was a vendor. I had him on my channel the week before, so people could become accustomed to who he was. But he had a vendor, and shout out to Nice T as well. His partner, his business partner, and they were there. And I said, this is why I wish he was up here so he could talk about this. Their booth was like a whole photo shoot. Like it seemed like it's like, who did you not take a picture with? Like it was a whole bunch of people that took a picture with them at that booth, and it was like right there. As soon as you came off the stairs at the top, they were right there. You couldn't miss them. They were right smack dab in the middle at the top of the stairs. But definitely shout out to Sincere Love the God and Nice T and his son. They had their they were selling like their book. I think it was a book, some t-shirts, and a few other things as well.
A book, some t-shirts, some posters, CDs. I believe so. Yeah, that's off the top of my head. But their setup was nice, and he had his speaker playing his album. The album that he just came out with.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, yeah. I gotta send a big salute. I know y'all brothers on this, man. I gotta send a salute to our brother Tariq because
definitely,
like me and Afro had a conversation, man. It's like our brother, he deals with so much stuff, and on the level we're at, Taurean, where we are, we understand what goes into this game. So to be on his level and all the things that come across, for him to pull this off and look out for us and hold us down. And then like me and Afro had a conversation the other day, these events allow us to meet our people. So we get to meet our people, that follow us and subscribe to us. And these events allow us to meet each other. These events allow us to all hang out, and I'm always appreciate it because to meet a lot of the people who follow us, to have people come up to us in tears and hugs, and people say I travel from here and I'm looking for Taurean Reigns and where's Afro Elite and I him. And I got to give a special shout out to our sister Angelica Lane. Super shout out to her, our brother Christopher Ellis. I got to shout out to you as well. There's so many more to name, but those are a few of the people that I've always that follow us and support so much. And it's not just about the people who support us meeting us; it's about us meeting them. So
she was she was another one that was very happy to me. As a matter of fact, I think I met her in the morning when we were standing in a line to get the wristbands, and I had just like walked in because I had came in through the back, like I had parked in the garage, and then I came through the back where that ramp is at, not realizing that the front side was on that side. And let me tell you something, that line was wrapped. Okay, like when I first got there, it wasn't wrapped that much. It was just more contained inside that little opening before you walked all the way in. And I just walked through the door to get the the wristband, and that's when I came across the first person who's like, oh, that's Taurean Ring. You know, I watch your channel and everything like that. And the person, they were so nice, and they let me just cut like right in front of them, like stand like right there to avoid me having to like get all the way to the end of the line. So I thought that was very dope as well. But that line was wrapped after a while, like literally down the street, like almost wrapped around to the side. So it was a lot of people that definitely came through, and not bad for this being the first one, the first of many to come. So what a way to lay the foundation. So, you know, it's going to be bigger and better. The next time it's going to be amazing to see how they're going to be able to top this one, because this one was pretty damn impressive.
Yeah. And like Alpha was saying, shout out to Tariq, man, because who else is doing stuff like this to this scale? This isn't just a networking event. This is a networking event that has workshops, that has main event, that has a musical event to it. You know, who else is doing that? You know what I'm saying? And there's no major sponsor. We're not being sponsored by Coca-Cola, Pepsi,
Right.
Walmart. All of this is all black owned and black supported for black empowerment. Who else is doing that? You know?
Right. Say, Drew, you ready to say something?
No, we're not being sponsored by the Democrats or the Republicans either. So,
right.
Yeah.
Like no political affiliations, none of that.
Yeah. So again, the expo was the rally on steroids, I would say. To anyone that did miss it, you know, again, like my brother Black said, you were there in spirit. But just to be able to do business with black-owned businesses is amazing sometimes. And now you got them all in one spot. So what I took from it, besides business cards, is now I can shop specifically with my people. You know, and that's amazing to me. That you know, the fact that we can shop with our own, whether we need soap, paper towels, anything that you need, your own is making it. If you need like education, because it was like my brother was saying, workshops that gave out education on certain things, you can always get that. And also at the end of the night, of course, entertainment. So again, he tried to cover everything within, you know, the hours that the expo was popping off. And I love that. I love that we're moving off of online and we're actually, you know, starting to network in person.
Yeah, it's a good thing. And I was a lot of businesses, because I was just so busy. I really wasn't able to really shop like I wanted to. But I'm inside. I'm like taking like digital pictures. And what I did too, I made sure I went around and took video of pretty much everybody's stuff if I wasn't following them on Instagram or whatever. So I'm all like, I'm not gonna get this right now, but I'm gonna order this later on. You know what I'm talking about? So it's like I said earlier in the broadcast, it's a lot of that going on where I want this now, but I'm gonna get this later. You know, so it's a lot of that going on. And it wasn't just because some people were talking about, oh, it was just t-shirts and candles. It was a lot of good t-shirts, it was a lot of good candles, but it was a lot of good other stuff too.
Exactly.
It was desserts, it was other people's services. People came there advertising their actual services and stuff like that. It was services, it was artwork, you know, desserts, it was soap, it was oil, it was children's clothes. You know, there was one vendor who was selling kids' clothes and stuff like that. Other people selling their books. You know, it was I can't name everything. It was a lot of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It was a lot of things. Like, you know what's so interesting too? I think it's also really interesting that this fell the weekend before the anniversary of what happened with Black Wall Street. Because, you know, like I did, you know, that was my episode yesterday was on, and how ironic, you know, this is the anniversary right here, May 31st through the 1st. So I thought that was very interesting how that fell the weekend before as the anniversary of that, because that's literally what it felt like. It felt like a little mini Black Wall Street. Like that's literally how I feel like that's how Black Wall Street started, was something like that before it expanded into what it became. You know, unfortunately, it's no longer here, but I'm gonna just put it like this: our ancestors would be proud.
I think so.
Like, I think they would be very proud of the event that was put together this weekend. Well, this past weekend is definitely one that's has pretty much etched itself out in history like Black Alpha said, this is going to be something that we're going to be talking about for years to come. I cannot wait for the next one. I don't know where it's going to be, but wherever it is, I'm going to make sure that I try my best to be in attendance. I think Tariq had threw out some ideas of where, or people threw out some ideas of where they wanted it to be at. But I would ask y'all, like, where would y'all prefer to see the next one at?
Chicago.
Georgia.
I mean, what I should have said was besides where y'all are from. I should have phrased it that way. Besides where y'all are from. Because I wouldn't have said DC or Maryland. I wasn't gonna say my state.
If it ain't in Georgia,
okay, Taurean, okay.
If it ain't Georgia, Chicago, New York, or Maryland.
You know what I would throw out? Tulsa.
Ooh, good one.
I think they owe us that.
Yeah, that would be dope. By the block, you know, and have it right there in Greenwood. There's some kind of facility. That would be, man, that would be like dope if that happened there. And it's at a location that a lot of people wouldn't even expect it to be at because it's not a major metropolitan area like a Dallas or a Chicago or anywhere in New York. Well, New York too damn crowded. I wouldn't even suggest having it there. No. That is too, or in Atlanta or in Atlanta or something like that. I see some people have left their ideas in the chat. Someone said Cleveland. I see Atlanta. I see Vegas. Los Angeles.
Oh, not Vegas.
He said not Vegas. Too much distraction. Too many distractions.
People ain't gonna have no money with all that gambling.
Listen, hey, I'm not even going to knock that. I agree. That would be a lot of.
That's a whole lot
of distractions. Kid Gravity said Philly, Tulsa, or Birmingham. Oh, Kid Gravity, I'm glad you in this chat because I wanted to keep the stream going as long as I could, is to see if he was going to pop up in this chat. There was some Jamaican representation there at that expo. Not somebody who was a vendor, but somebody who attended. And I know they were Jamaican because they had a jersey on that said Jamaica clearly. I don't know if y'all saw the guy, but he had a jersey that clearly said Jamaica going across it. He had the beads on and everything. Blended in so well with the crowd so much that I didn't see him until the end of the event when he was getting some cookies from Just Eve.
Yeah.
So to those of you
non-FBA that supported.
Yeah. So those out there that think, oh, if a non-FBA person was there and they wasn't able to I'm just saying it because someone might try to say something. No, they were not kicked out. They were there for the whole event.
Mm-hmm. And it was a family thing, you know. Yeah. Everybody enjoyed the company. Whether you were FBA, even though it was an FBA event, you know, FBA, that was the main thing, but there was non-FBA there, and you know, they were just on some family type of energy. So we respect that.
I believe there were vendors. I mean, I'm not too sure, but I believe there were vendors probably that were non-FBA also.
Yeah,
probably.
But you would never, like I said, you would never know because, like I said, everyone blended in. So, well, like I said, it was a very family-oriented event. It was even people brought their kids there. Like you said, it was one person there. I think it was a little girl that helping her family sell whatever it was at that front table near when you first walk in. I think those were like baked goods or something along those lines as well. So they had the kids involved as well, helping them promote and push their businesses. So it was really family oriented. I cannot wait for the next one. I'm literally like sitting on pins and needles, like, you know, when they're going to announce the next one and where's the location for the next one going to be at. But I'm sure that's something that's that's probably something that's in the talks right now. And that's a good thing because that just shows you how I guess you could say popular this event was. This was not something that was promoted through major sponsors. This was all something this was all a grassroots thing. So when a lot of people think that we can't do things on our own, they better think again. Keep in mind, we are talking about dealing with an individual, and when I'm talking about Tariq, who was able to put together a rally in 3 weeks after getting so much hassle over the course of months in DC and how the turnout for that was. And then you see what he was able to do with more time with this event right here. So this just shows that through adversity, we can do anything. We are pushing back against the stereotype that Black people have to lean on certain entities and organizations and groups to get stuff done. No, we can actually do it ourselves. And that's exactly why many of them do not want us to get reparations, because look at what we did without it. Imagine what we will do with. They will be. I said they think they're scared of us now. They're gonna be frightened, when them checks get cut. I'm just saying.
And this also goes against the narrative that we're helpless. The narrative that we're just sitting up here, we're sitting ducks and we're just drowning until we get reparations. We're getting reparations regardless because it's owed to us. But the thing is that if we're on code, we can make it pop anywhere we go, no matter what.
Definitely. And that's exactly what's going on right now with this past event. So you see the reception of it, you see the results of it. It was definitely a success. Everybody got something out of it.
Yes.
From whatever it is they came down there for. Everybody got something.
Hey, you know what? I got a heart. It's crazy, brother. I gotta remember the rally was only 6 months ago. From the rally to the expo was 6 months. It feels like the rally was a year ago. It wasn't even half a year ago. So that just shows you what we can do. We put together, like I said, super certified salute to Tariq to have a reparations rally and then a Black expose. Who else is doing that, man? Who else is doing where? And I'm talking about, once again, not just in America, I'm talking about the whole world. Where is that type of Black empowerment coming from other than from this side of the fence? You know what I'm saying? So it's a hell of a thing, man.
Why you always messing with me?
He did not bring. Listen, Mambo Sauce was not in attendance at this event, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. If they do, and that's why I'm surprised Afro didn't say DC and he mentioned Chicago, because if it is in DC, you already know what's gonna happen.
Y'all know what type of energy I'm on. Y'all already know. I'm gonna be Sage. Don't say nothing. I'm gonna get there 3 days early. I'm gonna be picking out.
Hey, if they do have it, there might be some people who are vendors who will be selling their own brand of that sauce. So you never know.
Hey,
I don't think that would have mixed with all those chocolate cookies, brother. I'm just saying.
Hold on.
My stomach would have been killing me the next day.
I don't know if you guys were present on that space we had right before, the expo, asking, it was me, Black Alpha. I don't know if he was there, Taurean, but I know Afro was there, and I was, making fun because everybody thought I was clowning Afro, right? Ask Afro in the chat how his ass got home. Now you would think,
why
right?
are you doing this,
now,
man?
God! Now, me and Black Alpha, right? Well, you fly in. Taurean, how'd you get home, Taurean?
You mean to back here?
Yeah, back to DC.
I flew.
Oh, of course. How you get home, brother Black?
Flight.
Okay, Afro, how you get home, bro? Let's talk about it.
I drove.
This is I told y'all.
Wait, you only got a one-way flight? No, did you drive? You drove down?
No, I flew down and
you drove back.
Yeah, I drove back.
With whose car?
Oh, I got family in.
I'm about to say.
So,
I'm like,
what vehicle? I knew you were driving when I talked to you. I was like, this nigga.
Yeah,
he can't be driving.
I'm about to say. I hope he did not take whose car? Did he...
yeah. So,
wow.
I told y'all that's international Afro. I told y'all, man. He be everywhere, early too.
That's crazy. And we was telling him fly. I mean he did fly. Oh, well, since we're talking about that, let me talk about this. Afro, do you want to explain to the people about the device that you did not have? You had everything but this one thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we put you. Listen, this is all part of the expo experience, y'all. I mean, we talking about the expo, but we talking about the whole experience of it all. It was one thing that you did not have. You had called and told me that. If you saw the look on my face, I was like, "This nigga here." I said it in my head, but I didn't say it over the phone.
Listen. When I went, because we were all gonna do our own thing, right? I know they owe me heavy, Dwayne. They own me heavy right now. They beat me up virtually, but okay, it's cool. we were all gonna do our thing afterwards, or whatever the case is. We were all gonna link up and do that. So I bought my laptop. I bought my microphone, which I don't do. I've never taken my microphone outside of the house. I bought my laptop. I took my microphone down, packed the microphone, took my webcam down, packed my webcam, and I flew out there. I'm like, I'm set. I also have this too. This is like a multiple USB adapter that I bought too. So this, and I did this so I can plug my USB, the microphone part and the webcam part. So I'm like, oh, we set. I get down there, I'm unpacking. I take the laptop out. Tell me why I forgot my damn laptop charger.
I'm like, when you
laptop charge, I bought everything except the charger for the laptop. I called Taurean. I'm like, dude. I'm like, oh my god, Taurean.
Yeah, when you told me that, I was like, you have everything but one of the most essential items that is needed for your laptop. Because you had called me on that Friday. Like I was literally I think I was in the parking lot of the apartment complex where my family stays at, and you had called me and told me that. I was like, huh? Like, how does that even work? I almost told you this, but I didn't know how busy you were, but I almost wanted to tell you to go and see if you could find a Wally World or Best Buy or something to see if you can get a spare charger or whatever the case may be. But I said, I had my laptop, I'll bring it. And I don't know why I bought it, because we didn't even end up using it.
Yeah, we didn't use it.
Literally, I was walking around with my laptop on my back for like a good part of the day, but then that thing was like pressing up against my back. I said, it's warm. I feel like my clothes is about to stick to me. I said, I'm gonna go put this back in the truck. And I said, I put that thing right back in the truck and like locked it up and came right back in. And I was like, whoo, this feels a whole lot better. Because I said, y'all don't realize, carrying a laptop on your back like that and a bag like that, and then you got your charger and everything inside of it, carrying around that all day while walking around, it's almost like you're going on a hike, except you're not climbing up anything. But yeah, you had all of that except the charger.
I bought all the accessories, the unnecessary stuff, and I forgot the laptop charger. I was very disappointed in myself.
Wow.
I was, yes indeed.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you this though. I was almost about to get pissed off with the rental place that I had got my truck from, because I'm thinking because I purposely stayed in a hotel that was near the airport, because I know how I like to sleep. I'll sleep through an alarm. But the hotel I was at was about 7 minutes away from the airport. I'm like, fine, this is perfect. That way I don't have to feel like I'm getting up as early, or so I thought. So when I got, all the stuff that I was going to do, like renting the car and everything like that back in January, when I booked all of this stuff, I'm like, oh, the rental place is going to be right there at the car rental spot in front of the, where the airport is. Well, I had to get on the shuttle after getting off the plane. The rental place that's part of the airport is separate from the actual airport itself. And they drove us over there, which was probably like about a good 10-minute drive from the airport. Got out, and then I'm trying to find out, like, where is this place that I rented my car from? I'm thinking I got it from Enterprise. Turns out it was through this company called Easy Rent. Never heard of it before, so I'm assuming that it's some kind of independent place. I tell the person, I said, what is this Easy Rent? Oh, this is separate from the other place. So now I got to go to a whole another car rental place that was like 15 damn minutes away in Irving, Texas. I'm like, what in the world is going on here? And then I get there, and then it's like a whole process. Like, I was like, okay, I just want to like get to my room and like relax a little bit, because my phone is about to die. Get to my room, and then I just relax for like a good hour, let my phone charge up, and then that's when I go and call my aunt and tell her I'm on the way. And let me tell y'all something right now. The combination of construction and rush hour in Dallas is absolutely insanity. And their roads, I don't know, their roads are real funny to me. I don't know how they're merging. it's the weirdest thing. Like these wide merge lanes, it's like they're very wide, and it's like you got to get all the way over just to to merge. I'm like, I said, Dallas, y'all got some weird roads. And that construction is no joke. And I said, I'm well, even though I don't live in DC, one of my gripes with it is it's a lot of one ways. So GPS be damned if you make the wrong turn. I'm just saying that right now. But Dallas has some weird road structure. Of course, to those who live down near Dallas are probably used to it by now. But yeah, I said it like this: the next time that there's an event, I might just do the Uber thing. And I know that was hell on y'all because the Uber down there was terrible. And I had to keep that in mind when I had to Uber from the car rental place to back to the airport, because my flight was at 8 something in the morning. The car rental place didn't open up till 8. So I had to put my key in the little drop box and call an Uber to come and get me. Luckily, it was somebody who was going to the airport at the same time I was in the same terminal. Thank God. I don't know if that was a miracle or not. And I just split the Uber cost with them. So it all worked out. It all worked itself out.
Yo, the Ubers, they give anybody a license in Texas. I don't know what y'all doing. Y'all give anybody a gun and a license. Y'all need to stop. They got to be a class or something, because the Uber people don't know where they going or what they doing.
And that's like, even for landmarks, I'm like, when y'all were telling me these stories about how they kept getting y'all turned around and whatnot, I was like, that's crazy. Luckily for me, going to the airport to leave, I did not run into that problem. Thank God.
Yeah, my flights, my ride to the airport was very smooth. It was a brother, fortunately for me that time, but it was very smooth. I have no complaints about my ride to the airport.
It was the rides everywhere else.
Okay. Mine was a little different, okay?
Oh, damn.
All right. I called Afro from the airport, so Afro knows what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I ain't going to get all there, and I ain't going to – if this is my channel, I would have been talking way more crazy, middle fingers flying, but I ain't going to do that, brother. Frontier ended up messing me up, so I ended up being late for my flight. Well, actually, I was early, but somehow they messed me up, so I ended up having to rebook. This is how dedicated I was to getting there to be with the family, okay? I ended up having to rebook, so I ended up spending an extra $200 rebooking. I had a 10-hour layover in Orlando, 10 hours. So we had to wait for 10 hours because Frontier messed us up. As soon as we get there, I had to get an Uber. The damn Uber driver looked like he was out of the damn jungle of Zimbabwe. All right. He acted like he didn't know what he was doing or whatever. He stopped the car and started like turning his phone off like it wasn't working. He was like, I can't get it to work. And then I pulled out my phone. I was like, do this way. It was $75 for a 20-minute drive. This is how this dude got me. And then when we get out, he was telling me, well, plus 75 plus. And he was like, well, fees and all that. And then Queen cussed him out. So Sage, you know that Brooklyn. So she took him out, she cussed him out, and then everything was good. But $75 dealing with the Ubers, 10-hour layover. But I made it with the family, and I got to hang out with my brothers, man. So it's all love, all love.
Yeah.
Now, all of that, and then his ass went to work as soon as he arrived.
Yeah, brother. Wouldn't change it for the world, family. Wouldn't change it for the world.
This man was supposed to get there before me.
Yes.
I got there at like 5:00. And all three of these brothers were supposed to get there before me. Black Alpha, he wound up getting there damn near at midnight.
Yeah, I was supposed to be there at 12:30 p.m. and ended up getting there actually at the hotel at 11:56 at night. Yeah. So beat Frontier and the Uber driver as well. So, but it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Oh, he had a forehead, bro. His hairline was like way back. He had the Fleetman forehead, bro. It was like this. His head was big, so I already knew. As soon as I pulled up, I was like, "Oh God, jeez." But it's all good. Man.
Yeah, like I said, I'm glad that we at the end of the day, we were all able to, make it. I think I'm the only one out of all of y'all that had a rental. Was I the only one that had a rental?
Yeah.
See, now it's like, okay, I'm trying to debate the next event. Do I get the rental again, or do I go with the Uber? But that's so risky because of you don't know how these Uber drivers work in these other places.
You don't.
So it's like, but I'm glad that everything, ended up working out for everybody, you know, getting to and from their destinations. One highlight for me though, and this was after the expo was over when I was leaving, is I finally was able to see that tall skyscraper in Dallas, one with the green light. You know, that green light. I don't know what the name of that building is. Someone in chat may be able to tell me, but it's a major landmark. Like, it's one of the things when you see it, you know exactly what city you're in. But it's that tall building that has that green light streak that goes on all sides of the building. And then they also had that one that looks like the ball that they drop on New Year's. It just kind of stays right there in the air that lights up. But yeah, so I was actually glad that I was able to see. Now that was like downtown Dallas right there. Like, I saw some sights when I was driving through there when I was leaving out of there to go back. Wiggleman said the Bank of America Tower. Okay, so that's the name of it. I didn't know what the name of it was.
I ended up driving through where, you know, Kennedy was shot. On my way back to the airport. I ended up driving through that, and because the brother I had was fairly cool, because I was like, yo, where's the landmarks at, you know, in Dallas, just so I can say, you know, I saw it, I'm already here, let me, you know, take the long way, because I went for the airport early, so I was like, yeah, take the long way, you know. And then brother took me by the Kennedy spot. That was cool. I went by that Bank of America Tower. That was cool, just driving wise. I didn't get out the car or nothing, but yeah, it was cool. It was pretty cool, I must say.
Yeah. Black Alpha, did you see any landmarks?
You know, I wanted so bad to go to the Kennedy spot. Man, so bad. I wanted to go.
You didn't make it? I know we was talking about that.
Damn. Yeah, brother. I missed it, man, because I had PTSD from them Uber drivers and missing that flight. So I got to go get back to the hotel. Right. Oh my flight ended up leaving at like 2:00, and I was at the airport at like 10 a.m. So I was like, man, I'm going to sit here. I just sat there and I was like waiting. I was like, okay, let's go. So I ended up missing it, but I did actually see that building you're talking about. I seen it from afar though, Taurean. So I was happy to see that. But shout out to Dallas, man. All the B1s and the FBAs down there, beyond all the tethers and stuff like that. It was definitely a good trip, good visit to see all the brothers and sisters who were from there, and then the brothers and sisters who convened there, man. So it's a beautiful city. It definitely is.
It most definitely is. Did you see anything after? Well, you probably wanted to see the inside of your eyelids. that's the only landmark you wanted to see, probably, after dealing with all of that on Saturday.
I was at peace. Listen, let me tell you, when I got back to my hotel, I took a shower. I had this like layout couch right next to my bed. I'm sitting up there eating the oatmeal cream pie from Neatly, the Neatly vegan. She gave me an oatmeal cream pie. Man, y'all should have seen. I look like one of those bears you see at the zoo that doesn't do anything but eat. I'm sitting up there. I'm laid out. I'm just eating it there. I was so beat. I was so exhausted. I was like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. If like I'm like, I couldn't get this the next day. I couldn't. That took the whole weekend was in one day for me. I was like, I couldn't do this the next day.
Right. I didn't get home. Honestly, I didn't get home that night until like 2 a.m. because I ended up going with Just Even them. Even Ogun Spirit. Shout out to my brother Ogun Spirit. Much love. Shout out to Just Eve. Just Eve's husband, got to meet him. I ended up going with them to like Whataburger. Now, Ogun Spirit had like this big ass van, and I was mad at you, Black Alpha, because you left. They would have been dropped you off. They was asking. It was like, where's Black Alpha? And I was like, damn, I think he bounced already. But you and Queen had left already because they was gonna, I guess, save y'all some money. So they ended up like just dropping random people off from that. That's how you know it was family. Just Steve, Ogun Spirit did not even know any of these people. And he was like, listen, y'all need a ride? Who need a ride? You need a ride? Where you at? Oh, that's 10 minutes away. Yeah, get in. I got room. And he had room in the car. And they were a vendor too. They were selling soaps. So he ended up dropping them off. And then we ended up going to Whataburger after. And then me, Just Eve, and Ogun Spirit and Just Eve's wife were just out there just talking. And, we were talking about the situation, with his family. And much love to our brother, Ogun Spirit. Much love. I don't want to get into everything that he said. I'll let him do that if he, wants to speak on it, but yeah, man. I didn't get home till like 2 a.m. because I was just chilling with them, just having a great time in Dallas, man. And that lets you know wherever we come from in this country, whether it be, New York, Texas, DC, Georgia, Illinois, California. Shout out to my brother Black Roach. It's always love. Mm-hmm. It's love when we see each other. You know what I mean? Like it's always love, and that's how it should be. Always
Definitely.
love.
Definitely. But yeah, I think we pretty much covered just about everything. I mean, we been here for almost 3 hours. Like I said, this was going to be a full recap. I'm sure there's probably some other things out there that we could talk about, but I think we pretty much covered as much as we possibly could, like by memory. Like I said, even though this is, you got one more thing, Afro?
Yeah, I want to say, let's let them know the inside joke of why we saying, oh, the place was empty. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that out the way. Let's get that completely out the way.
Well, I mean, what you should say, I mean, since you brought it up.
There was an individual, a troll, who bought a ticket. Nobody know what he looked like. Bought a ticket. He's going in rooms before stuff really starts off, and he's taking pictures like in the corner, and he's taking like weird pictures from weird angles. And he was like, oh my God, nobody was at the event. Nobody was at the event. This man is like going around and literally looking for the smallest gaps where nobody was there and took a picture like, damn, nobody is here. This place was empty. So that's the inside joke thing, because people literally paid money and traveled. If he's not from Dallas, he traveled to troll and made a fool of himself.
Hey, his pictures was all blurry and stuff.
Listen, that's like that. Now that is some next level trolling, that you would spend that kind of money just to, I guess you could say, embarrass yourself. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Tariq thanks you. I mean, it's going to a worthy cause. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you only hurt yourself. I mean, you hurt your pockets. Like I don't know. People are weird. People are weird. That's really like all I can really boil it down to, and it's in the most nicest way possible, is that people are just weird out here. Like that's a waste of time, a waste of money, and a waste of energy for you to go and for what? Like that. And I think I think I know what post you're talking about, because I came across that post the other day, and the thing was only like a 5-second clip. I think it was like a 5-second clip. I'm like, okay. Like, I'm like, what kind of point are you trying to prove here?
Hey, think about it, brother. It's not somebody who's paid to troll. You feel me? You're literally putting money up to troll people, and then your trolls is getting 2 likes on Twitter. Like, damn, man, you should have kept that money, man, and went and bought you a damn Happy Meal or something, because it ain't a good look.
You Happy Meal.
Because obviously they wouldn't like in this economy, they wouldn't have been able to afford that. Not with no $2. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, I think we pretty much, like I said, I think we pretty much covered as much as we could with this event. Shout out to the panel that came up. Shout out to Sincere Love, the guy. He wasn't able to come all the way up because he had a prior engagement. But shout out to him, having
shout out to him and Nice T.
Shout out to him and Nice T. They had a table. But before we go, I'm gonna let everyone give their last words in. I'm gonna change the direction this time. I'm gonna start with Black Alpha.
Yes, sir, man. First off, appreciate you, brother Taurean. It was good seeing you again, brother, as well. Me and Taurean always seem to click up, man. We'll be together. Still, thank you for those directions to the White House, brother. You know what I'm saying? Taurean hooked me up. He was like, take a left, go up there. And you know what I'm saying? Thanks for holding down the queen, bro, when I had to take off running, bro. So appreciate you, fam, and having me here today. Shout out to everybody. I want to also say shout out to FBA Girl, because she gave us some stuff for free for some of the things that we're doing down here. So she was very sweet. So salute to that sister. Everybody that was there at the expo, it was definitely Black empowerment. See, we say that we're FBA first, but we still rep everybody and hold everybody down. Like you were speaking about the Jamaican dude. So it's just FBA first, not FBA only. So shout out to everybody, man. But there was no other place on the planet Earth that was permeating and radiating that much true Black empowerment that day. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to continue to do it. So I want to just shout out to all my brothers, man, getting a chance to kick it with y'all. Like I tell people, man, we are a fam. You know, I talk to these dudes all the time. If I don't hear from them, I come looking for them, Sage. You know what time that is. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody, man. Everybody listening in the chat, people who weren't there, people coming to the next one, those who were at the rally, vice versa, however it was, man. But you guys just continue to say good. I made like this big, long post on my community tab the other day, and I was like pouring my heart out, and there's a lot of stuff going on right now with our people and, you know, injustices and things that occur to us. And I was up at like 2:30 and I wrote this elongated thing, but it was all for my soul. And shout out to everybody that responded, you know, and I just talked about the passion to take care of our people and protect each other and some of the trials and tribulations that we go through trying to do that, and how sometimes we feel guilty that we can't help everybody, we can't protect everybody. We got our up days, our down days, but it's just the rigmarole of being in this game, man. You know, so shout out to my brother Taurean, Afro Sage. When we meet people like our brother Rizza, and he says he's familiar with Afro Elite, he's familiar with Black Alpha, he's familiar with Taurean Reigns. Everybody knows Sage. You know what I'm saying? So when it's all love like that, that just shows that our voices are getting bigger. And these events help us actually communicate with each other and to network and politics. So shout out to our brother Tariq, man. And for all the haters out there that keep on hating FBA, y'all see we keep getting stronger. So keep on hating. Like I told Afro the other day, the more they mention our names, keep on mentioning our names, because we're going to blow up. We're going to go 100 times platinum. So keep on bringing it. We're going to keep on FBA riding all day, every day. So as I always say, man, we're one tonight. Let's be one in the future. Power to all of our people.
All right. Cool. Sage, you up next.
Yes, I don't really have much to say. I think Brother Black covered it all. I want to say this: as Black people, you deserve the best. You're not second class. You're not subhuman. You are the best, you know, and you deserve the best. When it comes to business, you do good business with your own people. Do great business. Make the best product that you can make, and sell it to your people. I can't be more on than when I was spending my money with my Black owned people. Absolutely. And I would do it again tomorrow. Now, as far as the expo, again, I want to thank Brother Tariq for putting that together, taking time and energy. I know a lot of hands went into it to put that expo together, and I was just there to assist in any which way I could. So again, people want to say thank you to me. I say thank you to you for the opportunity. I want to take time out again to thank my brother Afro for, you know, the energy that he put out, Brother Black for the energy that you put out. It's always love when I see you, Brother Taurean. Ever since I met you first at the rally, that was the first time I ever seen you. So let's keep that going. Let's keep the love going. Let's keep working together, and let's move forward together. I do want to closing with this. It's June 1st, so I definitely want to give a happy birthday to Mama Sage. Shout out to my mom. I know she's in the chat right now somewhere. She don't write though, but she's not writing. But thank you for making me obviously full-blooded FBA. Much love to you, and may God give you 40 more years. Much love.
Nice. And Afro.
Shout out to you, Taurean, for putting this all together. You know what I'm saying? I remember you said that you knew how successful this expo was going to be. Taurean, I want to let y'all know something. Taurean has, like, he talks about, he watches movies and stuff like that. I'm gonna expose Taurean. Taurean has powers. Taurean can see the future sometimes. Taurean knew that we needed to do a recap, so Taurean called dibs before anybody else. Taurean was all like, "Hey, I'm a host a recap. I got the recap." He already knew that we needed to do a recap, so shout out to Taurean Rain for doing that. You guys definitely have to subscribe to him and our good brother Black Alpha Network, and check out our brother Sage's music. You know, he's coming out with some new music sometime soon, so be looking out for that. But definitely shout out to Tariq, because this isn't, and like I say, this is about us as FBA, especially FBA men, leading by example and being proactive. This expo was not a reactive thing. It's not like there was Democrat Expo. So he's like, okay, if they have a Democrat Expo, I'm gonna have an FBA Expo. This is what happens when you are proactively doing things for your people. You're not just responding, you're looking for solutions, and you're trying to utilize your ability to implement those solutions. So that's what he did with the DC rally, and that's what he did with this expo. And it was a major success. I love the fact that there were so many people, not only who came as vendors, there were so many vendors, but there was a lot of vendors, and there was a lot of people patriotizing their businesses. And every single last one of their businesses was so professional. And everybody who were at the table, everybody was so nice, so well put together. It was like a business casual type thing. So they weren't dressed up or dressed down. It was this perfect environment with nothing but positivity the whole time, at least in the front, because in the back we was running around like crazy. But in the front, everything was perfect. So we made sure it went that way. And so much respect to everybody who came. I on YouTube, and I'm gonna say this, I see you guys see my face on a regular basis. I don't see your face on the regular basis. So it's a joy for me to see you all in person. I know you guys want to see me. However excited you guys are to see me, and me and Black Elf, we talked about this too in Taurean. However excited you are to see us, we are more excited to see you guys, because we don't get to see you guys' face. You guys get to see us when we go live. You guys get to hear us when we go live. So it's good for us to actually like see the people behind the the views. So thank every single last one of you guys.
Yeah, definitely. And that's definitely a strong point that you made, because I was saying to myself, when I think about the reception that we got at the rally last year, I said I imagine it's going to be like the same way at the expo, probably even more. And it turns out, I was pretty much, right. So this expo served more than one purpose, because I knew a lot of my subscribers was going to be there, and I wanted to have a chance to actually see them and talk to them. A couple of them I actually was had a good long conversation with, like 3 of them. The conversation lasted for I don't know how long, because we were so knee deep in the conversation. Time wasn't really a thing. It was like time was obsolete. It was one of those things where we didn't care how much time had passed. We were just in a conversation that lasted, if I had to guess, for over 20 minutes. Like we was like going in. But I'm glad that I was able to attend this event. I knew that I was going to go. It was no doubt in my mind that I was. I'm glad that I did go. I'm glad I was able to see who I saw, either for the second time, since the rally, or maybe for the first time ever. And I know some people was asking in the chat, will there be another one? I'm very certain there's definitely going to be another one. I would say another ones with an S, because I'm sure there's going to be more than just another one. It's going to be another ones, as time goes forward. All I'm saying is that if when you get wind of the next one happening, just make arrangements to actually, attend, because it can only go up from here. It can only expand and grow and get bigger and greater from here. Like there's no turning back at this point. The foundation has been laid. Now it's time to build on top of said foundation going forward. But all in all, I had a really good time. A lot I would say was accomplished in just that one day alone. We saw a lot of people. The speakers were all great. They all brought value to what they told us, something that we could take home and tell other on code individuals, let people know what they missed out on. That's one of the reasons why we're doing this. We did this recap so people could find out what they missed out on, and hopefully get them excited and hyped for the next expo, which hopefully won't be too far into the future. That way they can say, I heard about the last one, but it's not enough for me to hear about it. I have to be there. I have to be there in person with the people, see what they have to offer. Maybe it's something I have, maybe as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, that I can offer. So definitely, if you fall into that category, it would definitely be to your benefit to attend the next one, so people can see what it is. Someone had told me or asked me, I don't know if they asked you, Afro, did I have a business card? And I'm thinking, like, a business card, like what business or anything like that? And they said, maybe, to advertise your YouTube channel. And they got me thinking. I said, you know what? Maybe I should, make a business card that's advertising my YouTube channel, especially, you know, not to pat myself on the back, but to toot my horn a little bit. I am pretty decent with Photoshop, so you know I can get a little creative with it. And you know, just like just kind of like advertise and say, hey, you know, this is my YouTube channel. Go ahead, you know, and check me out and everything like that. So that may be something that I can work on, because that was a suggestion to me by a couple of people that was there. So I'm gonna definitely look into trying to make some maybe some business cards just surrounding around my YouTube channel. But all in all, though, if you didn't go to the expo this time for whatever reason it was, try your best to make it to the next one. So I would just say, just linger around and see what, you know, what announcement Tariq is going to make as it pertains to an expo, because it's most likely going to come through him. But yeah, with that being said, I'm getting ready to shut it down. We've been here for almost exactly 3 hours. Shout out to everybody who came through. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody on the panel. I'm glad y'all was able to make time to come through. Like, y'all have no idea how it was to try to put this recap together, because we had to adjust to everybody's timing. You know, initially we was going to have it on Tuesday, but then that didn't work out. So here we are on Thursday. I just wanted to make sure I had it within the week of the expo happening, because I wasn't trying to wait for like another week, because I was like, I wanted to be fresh in everybody's minds. But with that being said, I'm about to end this stream. I will be back on here tomorrow to do the Friday live stream as usual. Don't think that this is going to replace that one and not going to give y'all the regular stream. I will be back on here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to give y'all the weekly live stream and the first live stream of the month of June. Make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to all of these men's channels. Y'all most likely will link it down in the maybe pin it down in the comment section, so when y'all come and look at the playback, y'all can just find their channels that way, and make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't done so already. Also, shout out to, before we go, shout out to Afro for hitting 6,000 subscribers. I almost forgot. I almost forgot. I'm glad that it came to my mind. But shout out to Afro Elite for hitting 6,000 subscribers. I truly believe you can hit that 10K by the end of the year.
I think so too.
I think you had a lot of growth. Hey, just a tip: keep bringing Dr. Short on, and it'll happen. Keep bringing Dr. Short on, and it'll happen, because I find that most of your engagement comes when you have him on. So I would say if you can make it where he can come on like at least once a month, that 10K is within grasp. So I would say definitely try to bring him on more often. But yeah, we're about to shut it down. Y'all have a good evening. Have a good night. Be safe and be one.